Okay, let's continue on with more Trilogy, where we, I believe, are almost at the end of the investigation portion for the game. So we're either going to get a full trial here, or it's going to be like a part 2 trial. But considering the investigation took like 3 hours and we're still in that, I'm thinking that the other half of that's going to be either one full trial or like 2-part trial. Probably like 2-part trial, but it's going to be the length of like the thing. So let's continue on with this and see how we go. First off, so yeah, we are nearly at the end of the investigation, and then we can basically just do the trial. And we'll see where we go from there. Or we'll try to anyway. So let's just load up the recent save and get things started. May as well. It's going to be nice and fast. You said it. I smell Plat with a capital P-U. Reddins claims he was at the TV station at the time of the incident. And we saw Bonnie on stage ourselves. Yeah, Paulo, I have an idea. Why don't we pay Take-Two TV a visit? We can check up on the ratings Raj's alibi while we're there. Sounds like a plan. I'm guessing there's nothing else left to check or examine. So let's... I'm assuming that we've examined everything anyway. Shouldn't have reset. There's not anything else this year is reset. I think we're all good. Let's just go to the TV studio then. I don't think we have anything else left to really do except for yeah, just going to look into these whereabouts. Which I'm guessing we just go to the TV studio and do that. Hey, this, it's like a really cool, it's a really cool, what's the name thingy? April 27th, Take-Two TV studio. Loving the backdrop again. We got, a roulette table, a roulette wheel, some gambling, machines. I don't know what they're called, slot machines. Yikes, look at this place. So much going on at once. It's making my head spin. Take a look at that screen. Listen to those hosts. Magical murder. Live audience witnessing shocking skewering. 17-year-old magician, Trucy Rain. See exclusive unedited footage of the heinous crime, complete and uncut. Can't let them broadcast that. Teresa will get tried in the court of public opinion. Well, I doubt we can stop them from airing it. But we can prove her innocence in a real court of law. No matter what garbage they report on TV, we can set the record straight at the trial. Nothing to talk about. Let's just go and examine the... I'm not seeing Roger Rettins here. So let's just examine everything and see what we can find. Excuse me. Into the incident that happened at the magic show this morning. For that? Yeah, I was the cameraman for that. Can you tell us anything about what you saw? Bonnie was soups of dorbs. That's exactly what I couldn't get enough of her. I filmed her the whole time. Got some primo footage if I do say so myself. Better quit before he decides to share what he intends to do with said footage. I wonder what that guy sitting down there is doing. Looks like he's reading that script he's holding. What? Are you serious? These two are gonna break up? The series is going on hiatus because the cartoonist is sick? No way! I think he's reading a comic book he's hiding in his script. If you're gonna goof off on set, that's a pretty bold way to do it. Slot machine and roulette, huh? They really went all in with the gambling theme. Looks like that slot machine really works. I always wanted to give gambling a try. It's not worth it. Besides, you're not even old enough to gamble in most states, yeah. That's alright. I get to express it enough in court. Yeah, about that. I don't think that's also a wise idea either. I think you, should... Guessing whether you win or lose the case on any given day. Thanks to the vote of confidence. They marry Apollo, and they bet on winners, and I haven't lost yet. Pardon me, I know you're busy right now. What are you guys, street? Street? Does that mean people off the street or something? But Trilogy writes lawyers. Okay, lawyers, got it. Oh, what do you want? Must be really busy. Doesn't even look this way. I'm investigating the incident that occurred at the magistrate this morning. I heard that Roger Rettins was in charge of that program. Yeah, that's right. Guy hates magic. The show was all his idea. It was between you and me. I think it was Bonnie that egged him on. Egged him on? How so? Saw the two of them together, you know, walking along arm in arm. She sweet-talked him into doing the program because she wanted it to work. She's been selling very well on her own, apparently. See. Hey, if you're looking into the incident, I guess you'd want the show footage, right? Well, a disc in my back pocket. If you want it, go ahead and fish it out. Well, thank you very much. It turned out to be surprisingly helpful. Show footage, disc retrieved from the staff member's back pocket. Disc with a recording of Tritz's escape trick on it. Let's see if it's any different to what we currently have. Might actually be a little bit different. Not sure if I'm noticing anything different at the moment. Maybe there is something, like some slight differences. Okay, good. Looked like it was the same to me. What's we got? Look at that logo above the screen. Scandal, Gamble, Gambit. Is that the title of this show? Yep. Haven't you ever seen it? They present scandalous rumors about celebrities. And then people bet on whether the rumors are true or not. So it's just another tasteless show. Looks like Tricky's their next target. Say scandal is? Tragedy on stage. Did Tricky Wright cause an accident or did you commit murder? Looks like murder is in the lead. Well, I say neither. Then we'll just have to create a third option tomorrow. In court. Seeing anything new here except for this? I'm guessing this is where Roger Rettins is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a video production workstation of some sort. The coffee cup looks awfully familiar. Yeah, that's where Mr. Rettins always sits. He's very hands-on, you know. You'll always find him on the set of his projects. But he was here at the station during the magic show, right? Yeah, well, he had 2 shows going at once this morning. He had his regular program to oversee here, but he couldn't be at the Penrose. So you can vouch for him? That he was here at the station during the magic show? Like an alibi? Sure can. He was definitely here. Still, after a while, he couldn't stand being away from the Penrose, it seems. As soon as his part was over here, he took a taxi to the theatre. Apparently didn't go there until after that thing had already occurred. Sounds like he has a rock-solid alibi. Well, I guess we just got about everything we can out of this place. Looks like Reddit's alibi is pretty airtight. But if that's true, then who could have killed Mr. Reedus? Looks like we're pretty much done here. Should we go back to the office? We can get a snack and talk over our plan of attack. That's good to me. I guess that's it. Nothing else. We've got the show footage and that's about it. So, go back to... Let's go back to the anything agency then. 27th. Right, anything agency. What in the world? Wait, what? What's going on here? All these stickers say repossessed. Who did this? Who's responsible for this? Whoa now, this is a restricted area, champ. No trespassing. Wait, you're... Well, okay. Trespassing? But this is our office. You're the one who's trespassing. Enough with the lip, boy. Don't tell me you forgot about your dad. What are you talking about? Just abided by the contract. The agency can't pay me. I have a right to seize his property, am I right? Just like that, we haven't even had a chance to take this to trial. You're gonna be mad? Shouldn't Truce be the one you're mad at? I told you. It serves you right for getting involved with these grabberies. Why, you dirty, rotten... yeah, about all these. I'm guessing we can't, like, examine anything, because it's not even ours anymore. Even the houseplant's being repossessed. Everything's being repossessed at the moment. Office seizure. What are you gonna do with all of our stuff? Sell it, of course. Every last bit of it. That's why I'm seizing everything. And I'll take this little office of yours, too. You think you can just waltz in here and do whatever you want? Indeed I do. Unless you write whatever warehouse joker's got 3 million ready. Let him know then? Because I gotta recoup my money somehow. After all, the entire program went south because of Trucy. It's called liability for compensation. This infantile agency is the liable party. Are you black-hearted? Yeah, Polo, what about the crooked clipboard? It's no good. We don't have any proof that Red Tints was behind it. Darn. Gonna have to do better than that, folks. Looks like the famed Mr. Wright left behind nothing but incompetent noobs to run things. No way. He was counting on Mr. Wright to be away for this plan of his. What a two-bit thug. We'll show him. There's the sugar, that expression. It's priceless. There's the fear to lose the precious office your boss left you in charge of. Now, not to rub it in or anything, but I think you should know where you should stand right now. Man, what now? Where we stand. Here, have a gander. The trial of young, up-and-coming magician Trucy Wright is scheduled for tomorrow. We're here, just outside the office of the suspect, hoping for an exclusive peek inside. What is this, live? Apollo, look! There's a sea of reporters outside. Oh, a questionable-looking pair are peeking out the window at this very moment. Our viewers at home can see for themselves their vicious, brutal expressions. Yellow journalism at its finest. And that's the way it is. The majority of the public already think Trucy is guilty. They saw the whole thing happen with their own eyes during the show's live broadcast. Everybody in the country's against you. No way. No office? No allies? You sure you still want to represent that girl? Of course we do. We believe in her innocence. Go ahead, think what you want. It's a free country. Just know that you'll be the biggest losers in the end. In the meantime, feel free to keep on flopping around like the dying fish you are. Now then, you gotta be out of here by tomorrow. Take in this cozy little office tonight while you still can. Hang loose, baby! I can't believe we let Mr. Wright's office get placed under seizure. Of all the... It's just ridiculous! Look out. Clear out, we don't want murderers... Oh, clear, we don't want murderers here. Hey, if it's a fight you want, I'll take you on. Come on! Yikes, let's get out of here before we get killed too. Can't believe this is happening. We have to do something to protect ourselves, and fast. It's Mr. Wright. Apollo, I got your messages. How is she? Is Trucy okay? She's not crying, is she? Does she have a lawyer? Mr. Wright, it's all a giant mess. Poor Trucy, in the office, our office. Apollo, okay, we better both take a deep breath. Wow, I see. Are you saying you have to be out by tomorrow? So sorry, Mr. Wright. Wish there was something I could have done. It's quite the mess, isn't it? Even if I left right now, I wouldn't be there in time for the trial tomorrow. Sorry, Apollo, but I need you to handle this for me. Of course, we can handle the defense, but the office... It's too soon to give up on that. What do you mean? The contract only addresses Trucy's liability if she causes the show to be cancelled. So you just have to prove it in court tomorrow that it wasn't Trucy's fault. Hey, you're right. So everything depends on your winning that trial tomorrow. Trucy's fate and the fate of our office. It's all riding on your shoulders, Apollo. I know. I'll be fine, right? Apollo. I've been watching you grow over these past 2 years. That's why I can say with absolute confidence that you'll be fine. Really? I've seen you earn victory after victory in some pretty dicey situations. Guide Athena, helping her along her way too. That's why I know you're ready. Why I know I can leave Trucy in the office to you. Believe in you, Apollo. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Good luck tomorrow. Thank you, I'm fine. Everything will be fine. You can call me anytime if you feel you need to, but I'll be fine on my own, right? Yes, I think so too. I can do this. It's the spirit. Give it your best out there, Apollo. What is it, Apollo? What are you smiling about? Who, me? It's nothing. Someone believes in me. Can't let him down. We have to win this trial, Athena. I couldn't agree more, and I'll do everything in my power to help. Plan it tomorrow. Prosecutor Submarty. By now of all times. Still, I don't care who it is. Can't afford to let my guard down for anyone. Hey, welcome in, Panda. Hope you're doing well. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Panda, by the way. I know I said it before in Nook's chat, but, yeah. Formal happy birthday. Happy birthday. Have a good day. Enjoy your 1 day of, relaxation, and, hope that you, yeah, just have a good day. Thank you for, stopping by. It's always nice to see you. We're just about to do the, trial. Just about to start our trial.
Restless, wandering soul of the dead.
Prosecutor Sadmati. Oh. Sorry to disturb you, but I figured I should tell you. The lead attorney's been decided. It's Apollo
Yeah,
Justice.
we get the 200 goal, like...
Apollo
Let me check, actually. 1, 2...
Justice.
Actually, no, I hit it, how many days ago? This can't be right, surely. Oh, no, it can be. No, it is right. We reached 200 followers 4 days ago. Yeah. Thank you very much for that. We, well... Yeah, we reached it, 4 days ago. And I went to the next one. I'm getting behind in my follower goals, but, again, that's also just because I've got so much stuff that I'm working on. I've kind of, like, neglected a lot of my, follower goals just to try and, push to affiliate, but hey, we'll get there. Plus, once I get to affiliate, I'll change it to, probably, subs instead of, followers, because that would at least allow me a little bit more time, because obviously that's... But again, we have goals. 28th, 9:15 AM, District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3. We're floating around the 2.7, 2.8 mark, so it's just a matter of time. It's, that's just the way that it goes. It's just the way that it goes. Once we get to around this number, it feels like it's just, hey, we need to, like, push for a couple of good streams, and then we'll get there. We'll get there for sure. Fine, I'm fine. I'm Apollo Justice, and I'm fine. Is Apollo okay? He's been muttering to himself all morning. He's been like that since yesterday. Guess the pressure of today's trial is getting to him. Poor Polly. He's really tearing himself up all over all this. Get it together, Athena. Get together on Apollo. Yeah, I guess the one thing that I am trying to push for is getting it before we finish this game. Because if I finish this game, and then, and have it already, I don't need to worry about the average anymore. So my average could drop, of course, but I will still have the affiliate can never go away once I have it. So, if I can get it before I finish my game, then that would be good. Because if I don't, then I need to take some time to figure out what I'm streaming next, and that could affect my average, but we'll, worry about that when that gets there. Like, this game's gonna last me a while, considering we're only in case 2. We've still got 4 cases. And, like, in the coming days, I believe... When is Tokyo Game Show happening, actually? Tomorrow there's gonna be an event for PlayStation. I might watch it. I think there's going to be a State of Play coming up, Tokyo Game Show's coming up, so that's like a free video, I guess, that I can... Where's Tokyo Game Show happening? Tokyo Game Show's happening on the 26th through the 29th of September. So, that's like at the end of the month, so that means there's a Sega event happening? I know today is the 25th anniversary of the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast came out the 9th of the 9th, 1999. So Sega's actually 25 years since the Dreamcast came out, which that had a ton of innovative games. Oh, Sega Game Show? No, Tokyo Game Show. Sony's gonna be there apparently. I think Microsoft are going to be there, Nintendo, Capcom. Usually a whole bunch of stuff that happens in Tokyo Game Show. It's like a bunch of conferences. I usually try to cover those just because it's like, hey, what are the new games that we can look forward to? Sega might actually be there. We've got the IGG Summit coming up. A few other things too. There's just a lot to cover that won't be games. Playing games, so yeah, I'll be reacting to those. Like, we'll watch some of those conferences that happen because I do enjoy watching them. See what some upcoming games to look forward to. When did you get here? Try to relax a little bit, will you? Getting yourself way too worked up. Although I usually watch them on a delay because, well, sometimes the American ones typically happen at like 5 in the morning. It's like I'm not getting up at 5 in the morning to watch a conference. I'll just delay it. Plus, that gets rid of all the everyone else watching at the same time. Now I did a little digging on this Nayuta Sadmati guy. We don't actually know much about him. It's apparently not your run-of-the-mill prosecutor. You know, what did you find out? Well, they say he wields an incredible power. To accurately read a trial's karma and its ultimate fate. So he has precognition? What is that supposed to mean? Don't have all the details, but apparently. You can foresee how the arguments would go and even lead his opposition. Yeah, he sounds like he has precognition. So the defense basically ends up going in whatever direction he has in his head. Imagine having that in a court case. Imagine having that as a power as a lawyer. Like, you have the power of precognition, so you would be able to plan your entire court case ahead of time before it's even happened. That would be kind of overpowered, I would think. Yeah, it did say she talked to him for us, though. Here's hoping that went well. In any case, sounds like he's going to keep us on our toes. That's why I know you're ready. Why I know I can leave Trucy in the office to you. I believe in you, Apollo. Mr. Wright is putting his faith in me. Can't let him down now. I'm fine. There he goes again. It's almost like he's chanting a prayer. I'm fine. I'm Apollo Justice, I'm fine. You say so, Apollo. The trial will start momentarily. Is the defense ready? Yes, we're fine. Trucy's fate and the fate of the agency rest on this trial. Actually, I want to check something for a second. Should we still have all the... It's really been that long, has it? Guess it has. I don't know, it has. Trucy's fate and the fate of the agency rest on this trial. This is a justice. If ever there was a time to shine, it's now. April 28th, 9:30 AM. District Court, courtroom number 6. Number 6 this time, not number 4 like normal. Day 1, court is now in session, all rise. And we're back to OG Judge again. Court is now in session for the trial of Trucy Wright. Defense is ready, Your Honor. And the prosecution? Prosecutor said Marty? 1,000 pardons. It was rude of me to keep you waiting. I was praying for the victim. Praying? Yes, I see. You're a Kuranist monk, correct, prosecutor? Yes, that is correct. I am but a lowly monk from the kingdom of Kura Inn. I beg in advance for the forgiveness and kind patience of everyone here in this court. I am unfamiliar with the proceedings of this country, and may make many blunders. He seems like such a gentle-mannered soul, doesn't he? Does it give you any information about him yet? I wonder if Emma had a chance to talk with him about Trucy. Now then, Prosecutor Samari, your opening statement if you want. Can we get a profile of this guy yet? Or is it good to wait? Certainly. The name of the Holy Mother. I vowed to guide the victim's soul to a land of eternal peace known as the Twilight Realm. Now let the last rites of the victim begin. Now you just said Marty. He's really been making a name for himself apparently, but that nickname, Last Rites Prosecutor, wonder how that will come into play today. He has a soul. A scroll, sorry, that rolls out. Yeah, of course he has a soul. They just said Marty, age 25, a prosecutor from Kura Inn. He's also a monk, which explains why he's known as the Last Rites Prosecutor. Let's see what we're in for here. The incident took place in the middle of a spectacular magic show. The accused performed a magic trick, in which he thrust a sword into a coffin. A coffin from which the body of the victim then spilled out, dead from a fatal stabbing. The victim's name was Man of Mystery. Okay, game. Every time time I get introduced to another character's name, it's like, we thought his name was Ruus. His real name is Man of Mystery. Man of Mystery. Okay. Okay, game. So far, every character that we've come across has had, well, every character that isn't like a recurring character or a character that's gonna be thing. Every like defendant, victim, their name is upon. Man of Mystery, no exception. Because of course you do. His blood was found on the sword that was used during the magic trick. So report, the victim's real name is Man of Mystery. His blood is on the murder weapon. So his death was just an unfortunate accident. Can we look at that? Time of death, April 27th, approximately 10:30 a.m. Cause of death, shock as a result of being stabbed through the back with a sharp blade. The victim's real name was Man of Mystery. It is only natural for one to assume as such, Your Honor. However, it was mere accident, but rather a homicide. The prosecution's position is thus, that this was a murder made to look like an accident. I see, and you believe this crime was committed by the defendant? After a thorough consideration of all possible scenarios, I unfortunately had no other choice but to conclude as such. So that's how it's gonna be, huh? Guess Emma couldn't convince him after all. Very well, and now let's hear from the defense. Naturally, we maintain that the defendant is innocent, Your Honor. The defense wouldn't mind. Could you please explain your reasoning? My reasoning? Well, would have to say that my main reason is because I believe in the defendant. I see. So you find it difficult to come up with anything more concrete than that, do you? What a fine demonstration of the fact that you are indeed a lawyer of putrid mind. Putrid mind? Prosecutor Samari! Excuse me, but I don't... Oh, he even gets his own unique, Okay, he's doing the damn... He's... What is it they call it in Naruto? I guess we'll call it, no jutsu, right? Yeah, this must be lawyer no jutsu. If you don't mind my asking, prosecutor, what was that you were just chanting? The sutra of the Holy Mother that guides those of tainted soul towards enlightenment. It's a Kurinist incantation to awaken the foolish from their fruitless slumber. Fitting for a lawyer who indulges in such fancy as the innocence of the accused. I see. So basically you're asking the defense to get real. Allow me these few words, defense. It is my duty as a monk to punish sinners, and to guide victims' souls to the Twilight Realm. Should you show repentance and admit to the accused's guilt now, no harm will come to you. Should you interfere with my sacred last rites with the victim, then I shall cast you down into the pit of hell along with Trucy Wright. Now just wait 1 minute here. Putrid, pit of hell? Is this any way to address someone in a court of law? Prosecutor Samari, that may be the way you conduct trials in Kura Inn, but I would appreciate it if you would refrain from such charged language here. Your Honor, that was but a Kurinist sermon for those who have strayed from the path. Harsh words are often necessary to admonish contemptible deviants who cannot see reason. Oh, I see. I didn't realize. Guess they really do hate defense attorneys in Korean, huh? Even still, that was way over the top as far as verbal abuse goes. The trial's only just begun. Well, defense, I suppose the way a prosecutor does things varies by country. Why don't we look at this as a cross-cultural exchange and try to be open-minded about it? What? Bailiff, please bring in the first witness. I can't wait to see what the character does when they are in, she's eating snackoos again. I can't wait to see that they're, like, what, Sid Marty's like in Cura Inn, if he ends up being the prosecutor there. Thought you'd say goodbye to the snackers. Detective Sky, this courtroom is no place for gorging yourself. Someone have me a little snack. Girl's gotta eat, right? She, seems a little stressed out. Detective Sky, your testimony, please. Yeah, about that. Just want to state for the record that I believe Tracy Wright is innocent. I'm sorry? Detective Sky, this path you seek to follow is misguided. Giving the wrongdoer false hope will only deepen her despair in the end. But let it go and move on. Acts which go against your duty will earn you divine punishment from the Holy Mother. Fine. I didn't know about the divine part, but I get the punishment bit loud and clear. Guess Emma got assigned tons of paperwork or something for sticking up for Trucy. She and Prosecutor Samadi don't seem to get along very well, do they? Shall we continue? Prosecution contends that the accused had a clear motive. The evidence, if you would, Detective Sky. Alright, please take a look at this poster. It's a Trip Grammary poster from 13 years ago. Is it just me, or is it a little different from the one in Mr. Wright's dressing room? Wait, why did they... They put cancel over the Man of Mystery. This is a revised version of that poster. This one says cancelled under Mr. Ruiz. That's right, Mr. Ruiz left the troupe after the first version of the poster was printed. Take a look at Mr. Ruiz's right forearm, near his elbow. See the big scar there? He apparently got that when he made a mistake while practicing a magic trick. It's quite a scar. Because of the accident, Actor V. Marie concluded Mr. Ruiz was too unskilled. Just before the show was to open, Actor V announced Mr. Ruiz wouldn't be appearing. But in defiance of Actor V's decision, Mr. Ruiz tried to go on stage anyway. This in turn caused Actor V to oust Mr. Ruiz from the troupe on the spot. You kicked Mr. Ruiz out? That seems rather extreme. Did you really have to go that far? When it comes to magic, Troupe Marie was so passionate, or should I say extreme, about it, that it caused problems for them from time to time. Yes, they even caused this court a mountain of trouble with their extreme antics. And now the troupe's successor has committed a murder. It seems the troupe's rare talent was inherited by the right person after all. A putrid talent for criminality. You sound rather extreme yourself, prosecutor. Criminals with impure souls do not deserve sympathy, Your Honor. As I was saying, after his expulsion, Mr. Rose apparently went on to hold a grudge against the troupe. He would tell those close to him, I would get my revenge on Troupe Grammary someday. Revenge, hmm? That certainly sounds antagonistic. 13-year-old poster updated. Mr. Rose was apparently ousted from Troupe Grammary 13 years ago due to an injury he sustained. And then his chance for revenge finally came. If you would be so kind, Detective Sky. Guess I don't have a choice, do I? Alright. Press all the statements, obviously, because that's what we usually do when it comes to the witness testimony. Defendant's motive. Victim planned to get his revenge on Trip Grammary during Truce's magic show. Mr. Rose was going to first steal the Grammary notebook from the defendant. He then intended to reveal the secrets behind their magic tricks during the show. That was the victim's plan for revenge, and while he did, in fact, steal the notebook, the defendant murdered him before he had a chance to reveal the secrets. I guess that explains why the notebook was found in Ruiz's area. By the time the accused had discovered the notebook, it was too late. Our only option was to kill Mr. Ruiz and make it look like an accident.
Objection!
That's nothing but conjecture.
Objection!
The victim's assistant, Bonnie DeFam, gave the police a statement. She testified that just before the start of the show, Mr. Ruiz said, "I'm going to reveal all of Montgomery's secrets on stage today." Well, that isn't exactly a great starting point for a rebuttal, is it? You're telling me. Allow me to give you one piece of advice, defense. And what's that? Let it go and move on. Excuse me? Helping a sinner will only sully your own soul. One possessed of an unclear soul will burn in the flames of hell, and then be ever burdened with that sin in their next life. But I don't believe in that sort of thing. Besides, I have no intention of giving up. Oh, Holy Mother, grant me the strength to deal with this putrid lawyer. All actions have consequences. Yours will surely earn you the honor of being a mere stink bug at best in your next life. A stink bug? Oh then, Mr. Stink Bug. I mean, Mr. Justice, your cross-examination, please. Alright, press everything as usual, just because we get a bit of additional information, and sometimes we get funny and witty banter between all the characters. Also, it's changed now. It's changed now to lawyer badges instead of the thing. I mean, this is the whole thing about the court system. Like, the prosecutors typically like to make fun of everybody, like make fun of us, and then the judge is always sassing on people as well. Like, he always has funny. Like the judge in the first case of this game was like, "Oh, hurry up already! I have I need to get back to the missus because we have a guitar lesson, coming up. So I just want to get out of here." Friends, after all this time, it's been 13 years already. Also, keep in mind that this prosecutor is coming from a land where there weren't any defense attorneys for like 20 years because they use seances to determine guilt. And in said case that we just had before, there was no apparently evidence hadn't been ever submitted in 20 years. They just went by whatever the seance said. So yeah, basically people who performed crimes in that country, they just were killed. You know, no evidence was presented. Defense attorneys were killed along with their clients for defending them. So yeah, imagine like the worst court possible, and that's basically what happened until we bailiffs with machine guns, with assault rifles, a judge who forgot what a cross-examination. Basically, yeah, the seance would allow you to see the final moments of the victim, and they would say, "Oh, the victim saw their killer. That obviously meant that that person did it without any evidence. The judge is busy today. He needs to go off and, spend time with the missus. That's that wrap it up. That's a wrap." I know, right? I thought that was pretty sketchy myself. I mean, wouldn't he have done it a long time ago if he was just gonna do it? Detective Sky, self-indulgent outbursts such as those will earn you divine punishment. In the form of a salary evaluation. Wait, that's what divine punishment means? Let the detective have a snack. This humble servant of the Holy Mother shall explain. Over a decade ago, trickery was at the height of their popularity. But then their reputation declined. They had all but faded from public memory. Until recently, that is, when Trucy Wright sought to recapture their former glory. The defendant? And at such a young age too? How impressive! Yes, the accused's skill at magic is undeniably impressive. If she hadn't fallen onto the path of sin, she would have had a bright future ahead of her. It's always sad to see such promising young potential go to waste. Now then, Detective Sky, how did Mr. Lewis plan to get his revenge? And please put down the stack of ooze before you continue with your testimony. Yes, Your Honor.
Hold it!
What evidence do you have that Mr. Lewis actually stole the notebook? Well, you see, She doesn't have any evidence, does she? Whenever you're ready, Detective. Fret not, Detective Sky. You have nothing to worry or repent for. You should be proud of the fine forensic discovery that you made. Forensic discovery? And what did she discover specifically? Detective Sky identified a certain set of fingerprints in the notebook. Upon further inspection, she determined that they belonged to Mr. Lewis. Detective found the fingerprints entirely of her own volition. For that, I must say, well done, Detective Sky. Getting a little too addicted to using your precious white powder, did you, Emma? Now, Detective Sky, I would ask you to explain exactly how Mr. Lewis intended to use the notebook to exact his revenge. Alright, well first he stole the notebook. Also, you missed, I don't know if you saw last stream, the guy who was the killer, he was like a hippie that was singing on a dharma, which is basically like a guitar. And when we started accusing him, he turned into heavy metal Jesus. And basically he had speakers behind him, where Emma is now, and he was doing his testimony and rebuttals and stuff, singing it as if it was song lyrics, like from a death metal band. So that was the kind of defendant that we had for the first case. The victim, the perpetrator, culprit. He was rocking out with stuff.
Hold it!
Which is pretty funny to see. Gonna reveal all of Trick Gramarye's secrets on stage today. That's what Mr. Lewis himself said, right? Right, but he didn't exactly specify which Gramarye's secrets he was talking about. He was of the sandals of hell for sure. Like he was jamming. It was really fun to voice him. He was jamming for sure. His breakdown. So every character who gets caught. So the animations for the characters are determined by like, oh, you stumped me with something. Oh, you His breakdown in the case was he did an extended solo. And then he proceeded to smash his guitar against the speakers, knocking them down, and then he broke his guitar on the arch where he was standing, and the guitar flew in the air and bonked him on the head. So, yeah. It's the prosecution's assertion. When the accused realized that Mr. Lewis was to reveal the family's most closely guarded secrets, she naturally panicked. So basically, Truce's notebook was hiding Mr. Lewis's things because he had stolen it himself. I see. Truly a motive that only a magician could have. Yes, that's what the prosecution believes anyway.
Hold it!
Do you really believe what you're saying, Detective Sky? Do you really think Mr. Wright killed Mr. Lewis to stop him from getting his revenge? Of course I didn't think that. The Trucy we know would... Keep your private considerations separate from your public duty. I warned you about this very thing before the trial began. Did I not, Detective Sky? Yes, you did. Please recite my exact words to you. Emma Sky, you are a detective first and foremost, not the accused friend. Remember your duty and fulfill it faithfully. Excellent. So you do remember what I said to you? Your devotion to your work will be rewarded, for the Holy Mother sees all. This Holy Mother is no scientific concept I've ever heard of. Those two really don't get along, do they? Well, science and religion go together about as well as oil and water. So we're saying.
Hold it!
I'm sorry, but what exactly is the basis for claiming it was murder? Beats me. The basis is beats me? You'll have to ask Prosecutor Sid Marty over there, because he hasn't told me his reasoning either. Detective Sky. Your feeding of information to the defense has not gone unnoticed by my eyes. Bad karma of acts which go against your duty will impinge you upon you in your next life. But even before that, it may impinge upon your job in the form of a transfer. Please don't get me kicked off the forensics unit. Anything but that. Poor Emma. She's really been risking everything for us. Well, Prosecutor said, Marty, what are your grounds for claiming homicide? It was the luminous tape in the understage passage. I realized that it had been moved. Moved so that Mr. Lewis would climb up into the downstage coffin by mistake. Mr. Lewis, who was waiting in the understage passage, was supposed to have used the upstage ladder, shown here on the left. He was to climb up into the coffin that had been set up in the backstage area. After being turned into a stuffed dragon during Act 1, Mr. Bruce was supposed to come back to life and emerge from that coffin. The luminous tape had been moved to mark the downstage ladder. So the victim climbed up into the coffin on the stage itself by mistake. The very same coffin the accused thrust her sword into. Do you have proof that it was my client who moved the tape? But of course, Detective Sky. Oh, that's right. I identified the defendant's fingerprints on the luminous tape. You what? You actually had proof? Well, defense, are you finally ready to let it all go and move on? Absolutely not. Detective, please add the information about the prints on the tape to your testimony. Alright, obviously this is going to be the one that we have to present something for. Defense prints are on the tape. I guess she must have moved them during the show. Usually when we get a statement that we press and it gives us another statement, that one we usually get something for. What made you think to check the luminous tape prints? Well, I bet it was Detective's intuition. It doesn't not just the tape, but just about everywhere for fingerprints. Just at pretty much every single surface in the theater. I mean, it was so nice to be able to dust for prints without anybody getting mad at me. It's great that you're enthusiastic, Emma, but there is such a thing as too enthusiastic. The tape was moved. To guide Mr. Lewis into the coffin that was downstage. If that's true, it does sound like a murder rather than an accident. So it doesn't help that Truce's prints are on the tape. Wish I knew what sound would even be appropriate to make in this situation. Yeah, I think what we're gonna present is something here because of the, So they're saying the defendant's prints are on the tape, and they're saying it must have been moved. So, we do have some... we do have this. But they're saying, keep in mind, we have proof that there's a set of unknown fingerprints that were found, but we don't know who they are, but they're saying that it was the defendant's fingerprints, so that would be untrue.
Objection!
Sorry, Detective Sky, but there's a flaw in your testimony. Really? Prosecution is claiming that Mr. Wright moved the understage tape during the show in order to guide the victim to the coffin downstage. But it doesn't make sense that she would leave prints on the tape at that time. It doesn't? Please consider the fingerprinting results of the main coffin. It shows that not only one of my client's fingerprints was found on or in it. It's true, we didn't find any of her prints on that coffin. I think you've realized what the flaw in your testimony is. Claiming Miss Wright's left prints on the tape during the show is inconsistent with the facts. Because she was wearing gloves during the show. As she always does. She must have left the prints sometime before the show started. In other words, her prints do not prove she moved the tape to mislead the victim. The prosecution's investigation was insufficient. Oh my. But on a personal level, I'm very happy about that. All the prosecutors are martyred. If the defense's argument is true, then you have no evidence the defendant moved the tape to deceive the victim. I see. Apparently the defense is more intelligent than I thought. More than a stink bug at any rate. Come on, you can bump me up to at least a stag beetle now, can't you? Would that really be any better? I mean, better than a stink bug, I would say. Of course, way better. Stag beetles are cool with those huge mandibles of theirs. If the defense wishes to be promoted to a stag beetle, then answer me this question. Alright, shoot. Even with no evidence that the accused moved the tape to misguide the victim, the victim still climbed the ladder using the tape as a guide. And entered the coffin on the stage. The accused then thrust her sword into said coffin with the victim in it. So what you're saying is, the fact remains that the victim was stabbed to death, right? Precisely. However, this does drastically change one aspect of this case. The accused did not lead the victim into the coffin on purpose. Then it means the victim's death could have been accidental. If it was indeed an accident, the defense can argue that it was involuntary manslaughter. I see. If it was involuntary manslaughter, they could plead extenuating circumstances. And the severity of the crime could be mitigated. Defense, if you believe the accused did not murder the victim, then you do argue that it was an accident. This is it. The all-important question. The defense argues that Mr. Russell's death was... considering that, what was I going to try and say? It can't be an accident. Like, if it was an accident, then at that point, the case would be open and shut. We would already be over, but, it would most definitely have to be a murder. Because it always is. The defense maintains that the defendant is entirely innocent. We believe that it wasn't an accident, but murder. What's more, we believe it was committed by a third party. Third party? Isn't the true culprit is someone else? I mean, it has to be. That's always that's always how it is. Our defendant is never not thing. That is quite a brazen claim to make, and one wholly without grounds. Your voice is as loud as your suit, and your mind echoes just as loudly in emptiness. Surely you were but a loud red pepper in your previous life. Been turned to a vegetable? Wow, I didn't know a person could be reincarnated as a non-sentient plant. In any case, I do have grounds to make this claim. Let us hear this reasoning of yours, then. Alright, but before I give it, there is one question that we need to address. If the victim was killed by some third party, then the sword the defendant thrust into the coffin wasn't the cause of death. If that's the case, then how did we end up with a dead body inside the coffin? Very good question. Now let's hear your opinion, Mr. Justice. How did the victim's body wind up inside the coffin? He was killed in the coffin. It was magic. Of course it was magic. That's not the answer. Would be the answer. He was killed in the coffin, or he was killed under the stage. I don't think he was killed in the coffin. Because the only time that we saw somebody do anything with the coffin was Trilogy, and I think he was already dead at that point. So obviously we're already conceding he wasn't killed in the coffin. So he had to have been killed on the stage. What if the victim was killed under the stage before being put into the coffin? In other words, what if the victim was already dead in the coffin from the get-go? Oh, I see. In that case, the defense sword wouldn't have been the cause of death. How do you respond, Mr. Somebody? That is the third time. The third time of what? Wait, he's gonna throw beads at us now? I think he's gonna throw rosary beads at us. What the heck is this? And now he's gonna do lawyer no jutsu on us. Time for more lawyer no jutsu. My head! Hang on, so he throws the beads at us, and then he does his, like, lawyer no jutsu stuff, and it starts tightening on our heads. What do you think you're doing? Even the merciful Holy Mother loses patience if she's struck 3 times. Since you've never learned, you needed to be punished. Why don't you let me worry about what I need and don't need? It is what you deserve for interfering with my sacred rights for the victim. You are a brainless lawyer chasing phantoms. You know nothing. Let this humble servant of the Holy Mother give you an edifying sermon. A sermon? Now? There is a passage in the sacred scriptures of Kurinism. A cornered frog will swallow even a snake. A cornered lawyer has unexpectedly struck back hard against the prosecution. Did I get that right? No, for I'm not done with my sermon. And yet the frog still dies, its belly bitten and torn from within. Just great. And in this case, you are that frog defense. What exactly is your point anyway? Let us assume for a moment that the victim was killed under the stage. Who then had the opportunity to do so during the show? Let's see, the people in the show were Bonnie DeFam, the victim Mr. Rowis, and Trilogy Wright. Bonnie DeFam was on stage throughout the entire show. It's easily confirmed by the footage from the show. Which leaves us with only one suspect, Trilogy Wright. Now do you see? The accused killed Mr. Rowis as he waited on standby in the understage passage, and then placed his dead body in the coffin above, thus making the murder look like an accident. Oh, great and merciful Holy Mother. Thus another putrid mind has been guided towards enlightenment. Can't believe I swallowed his trick question whole. We'll bounce back. We'll bounce back.
Objection!
Sorry, but I have to raise an objection here. Athena, what are you... There's something I want to point out, Apollo. Who might you be? You strike me as a mere child in continence. Maybe young, but I have an attorney's badge just the same. And you would contribute to this discussion in that capacity? I most certainly would. You just argued that the defendant killed the victim on the stage. But let me remind you that Mr. Wright is a girl. Oh, Miss Wright, sorry, is a girl. Clearly. Sure you didn't raise an objection simply to point out such an obvious fact? Your Honor, please send for this little child's guardian to come take her home.
Hold it!
But I'm not done with my sermon. You don't need to talk like Prosecutor Sadmati, you know. Listen, if the victim was killed in the understage passage, then his body would then have to be hauled up to the stage, right? However, Miss Wright is a young girl, and a pretty petite one at that. She couldn't possibly have hefted that large body up and put it into the coffin. That's true, it does seem like it would be a rather difficult task for the defendant. I don't think even I could do it. What do you think of that, prosecutor? Who's the child now? In my religion, the priestesses of Curanism are revered as the pillars of our beliefs. So I naturally hold nothing but deep respect for women. I also think highly of the female perspective. Says the man who called this fair maiden a little child. Who's a fair maiden? I agree that your point is worth discussing, defense. How indeed was the dead body raised up into the coffin? By the accused, Trilogy Wright, that is. You're committed to pointing the finger at her no matter what, huh? Then you explain how that'd even be possible. But of course... there was a way for even a small creature like her to raise the victim's body up. Wait, you really can explain it? I foresaw that our arguments would come to this, so I've prepared a witness. Well, am I your witness, prosecutor? It is really not that difficult when one can read the ultimate outcome of any trial. He couldn't have really predicted that things would turn out like this, could he? It's pretty hard to believe. Excuse me, but may I step down now? Yes, I suppose you may. One moment, Detective Sky. Sorry for, you know, the way I handled all of this. You did a fine job, Detective. Your testimony was invaluable. It was? Yes, you served well as a detective, and did not allow your personal feelings to interfere. You overcame the conflicted emotions you felt and performed your duty admirably. You will be rewarded for your fine work. Thank you? Hope we can work together again in the future. Emma seems bewildered by unexpected praise. I guess he's a pretty nice person, like they say, as long as you're not up against him. Now then, let us call the next witness. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the court. It's very nice to meet all of you. I'm a legomorphing illusionist from the land of fairy tales, Bunny to Fam. Can't wait to do some magic tricks for all of you. Please, witness. There is a time and place for all things, including magic. Aw, but it would be okay if I just did a little magic, right? Come on, please. Look, everybody is waiting. That's my chance to shine.
Up to them.
That is your second time. My second time doing what? There will be no further warnings. You should know that from our preparatory meeting, correct? Is no one exempt from His Holiness's Rosary of Suffering? Cheap viewers? I don't need no cheap viewers. Get out of here. Get out of here, bud. I already have perfectly, good viewers, thank you. I don't need cheap viewers. You go on, bud. Right, we have your testimony, witness. Aren't you recovered from your disappointment? Well, I was a huge fan of Trucy's. Don't really want to testify against her. Well, I guess I have to, don't I? It's a huge fan of Trucy's. Yeah, I can't, it's so weird. It's so weird how these bots work. I have, like... Again, I have, I thought it was based on, viewership. Like, the amount of viewers you have. They come in no matter what. Like, I've had streams where I've had 1 viewer and they come in. And then I've had streams where I've had, like, 9 viewers and then they never come in. So, I don't know where they keep coming from. I hate her. I loathe her. Can't stand that Trucy Bryant. Because she's a little good at magic. She thinks she's all that. This is exactly what that sniveling brat deserves. Sure, you're a real fan, alright. Of destroying Trucy, you mean? Originally, I thought it was based on the amount of viewers, but then I also realized, like, a lot of other, I guess most people don't get them because they don't, they have links blocked, but, I mean, it's just as easy for me to, like, just click on the name, click ban, and then get rid of it. It's like, I'd rather not limit my viewers. If someone wanted to post a link up to something, then they're all rights, they're all able to, but, like, obviously, anything that I see with that, it's like, yeah, I'm not risking, someone accidentally clicking on it. I really can't believe that Trucy killed Mr. Ruiz. It's possible for a small girl to lift a dead body up if she's used a stage lift. Is it possible? Trucy did use a stage lift. She must have used a stage lift too. I was on stage for the entire show, by the way. Also, one thing about those bots is they do not count as a view. They're spamming everyone with that message. Yeah, it's just bot farms, I guess. One thing to know about those is they do not count as a view. Like, if they come into the stream, they don't actually come into the stream at all. It's actually just a bot. Like, whereas, at least with the art people, at least they count as a viewer and they follow, so it's like, okay, you're just actually just boosting my numbers and you're sticking around, so you're actually helping the stream rather than things, so I mess around with them all the time. You're on stage the whole time, and you're sure about that? There is no question. The entire audience could testify to that fact. Yeah, I'm not sure where they come from. I'm guessing it's just a bot farm, but you don't see them, I don't see them much with other people, but again, I have links enabled, so I don't really care. It only takes 2 clicks to ban them. It's not an issue. What's more, she is shown clearly in the TV show footage as well. Plus, who needs cheap viewers and best viewers anyway? Like, my viewers are far from cheap, and the best viewers that I have are the people that stick around in my streams and watch and chat and do all sorts of things. So I don't really, like, need any of that stuff. Plus, what's the fun in, like, buying viewers in the first place? Like, who would find that fun? Like, you've built up a Twitch channel for 2 years, you've, you know, streamed a bunch of games, found a bunch of people that you want to talk to, and, like, yeah, who wants the cheap way out? Like, nobody wants that. Yeah, I guess it's just the same sort of thing. That's the thing that worries me, though, is, like, it ruins, like, the art stuff ruins legitimate people who are actually out there to help, but I think at the same time, it's like, at the same time, typically, people who actually do art, they're not gonna ask people in their chat randomly and be like, hey, I'm going to, I'm an artist and I need, like, you know, thing, but, like, some of these people are really desperate. Like, I've got messages from some of them, and they've said, oh, I'm, like, my boss is going to, like, they're essentially trying to say that their boss is gonna fire them if they don't get thinking, oh, I'm struggling in this way, and it's like, that's not, like, no, just, this is the same person who was showing me PewDiePie, art. Like, it's like, there's no way that you're struggling in that way. If you're doing art for PewDiePie, if obviously that's why it's fake. Furthermore, by using a stage lift, even a petite young lady could have raised the body up to the stage without difficulty. I just don't like all the stuff and how that happens. Like, it ruins it for people who are actual artists that actually do try and make a living off of doing art, or just do it for fun, or just ruins it for everybody else, because it's like, you can't, you know, do all that sort of thing. Plus, I don't need an artist anyway, like, my, layout's been made by someone that could do a way better job than what I can do, so, yeah, again, it's that whole, I could get the Mona Lisa commissioned to me by Leonardo da Vinci himself, and, they would still say that I need to have him in better art. Gotta be kidding me. Very well, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. Alright, press all the statements again, because that's just what we do.
Hold it!
Also, there's this other, you know, I think the other problem is like, there are plenty of people who do Twitch just for fun. Like, they do it just because it's like, hey, they want to talk to people, they stream with their friends, they just play games. Not everyone is wanting to become an affiliate. Not everybody wants to be partner. Not everyone wants to be making money for Twitch. Some people just want to stream because it's fun as well. Wait, what? Hang on 1 second. Someone came in and did an art tax where they dumped 5 links to their chat so the streamer could show on their stream the person in the chat. So like they show the art as a favor for them to leave the chat and then leave. Yeah, the ones that I've seen are just the generic ones where it's like, hey, check out my Discord, and then like, I'll send you like a thing, and it's like, it's just the generic AI generated like art that you see all the time. It's all the same text, it's all the same, it's just supplement the color and supplement like the picture. It's all the same. Like, if I was going to make anything different, I would want to have it be unique and the same as everybody else. Yeah, that's also really bad. Like, if that's a real person, not a bot, like that's already that's essentially like self-advertising in someone else's stream, which a lot of people would ban people for like which again, like I'm very lenient when it comes to my rules. Like just as long as people aren't being racist or sexist or you know, making fun of people in my chat, you know, anything to do with mental health, stuff like that, I'm pretty lenient when it comes to all this stuff. But if someone came into my chat and was just starting to advertise themselves, then I would feel like, you know, like that's irresponsible of them, so... Yeah, that's a bit silly. I don't know why someone would do that. Like, again, that's essentially like paying for people to come and look. It's like, why would I want that? Like, why would I want that to happen? Like, I don't want to have to feel like, oh, I owe this person for things. Like, if someone wants to watch my stream, they can watch my stream. I don't care if they're lurking, I don't care if they're chatting all the time. It doesn't bother me. I do not want to feel like it's a mandatory obligation for someone to do, because obviously, my streams are at weird times, and also I understand that people have lives, so we, you know, like, I would not feel comfortable ever doing that. Like, oh, stick around and I'll show off my art. Like, no, just, don't worry about that. Like, I'm actually, you know, you know, if somebody did my artwork for me, I would promote that. Or if I knew that there was somebody that was like, oh, someone's interested in things, like, I can recommend somebody, but, like, it's a little bit different. But, again, like, we all have different purposes. I even became a magician because I wanted to be just like her. First time I saw her, she was performing at the Wonder Bar. She was only in junior high back then. She got up on stage with tons of confidence. Then she proceeded to win my heart with her astonishing tricks and winning smile. Like, I'll put it out there right now. A lot of people that I follow are playing games that I typically wouldn't play, but if I'm gonna follow somebody, I'm going to stick around to try and help them as much as possible. And also, like, through that time, it's like, I'm talking to people as well. So it's like, if I'm not even there to watch the game necessarily, I'm there to talk to them, so... there's always, like, other reasons to things. I was like, it's just one of those things. She certainly sounds like she means all of that. Finally being able to perform with her must have been quite a treat for you. And again, it does pay off if you start sticking around in other streams, that people will notice that you're regular, and then they will, like, if you raid, like, I raid a ton. I try to raid every stream, just to, you know, build up my networking and also meet some more people as well. After all, it was my chance to have her see me. Not just as a fan, but as a fellow magician. That horrible accident happened. It's not an accident. It was murder. Yeah, that's another thing as well. Even if it's a game that I'm not enjoying, like, if I enjoy someone's reactions to that game, that also helps. If that person's really chatty and talks a lot and has similar interests, then I can connect with them that way. Oh, you don't like... Yeah, I can understand. Like I like Call of Duty, but I only play the campaigns. But if I see someone playing Call of Duty and they're really good at it, or they have like a lot of fun with other people that are playing it, then sure, like I'm gladly like watch it. Witness, please explain if you would. How a small young woman such a juicy right could have raised the body? That's why I'm so... It's weird when it comes to the follow for follow stuff. Like, I will do follow for follow, but I also know that for the most part, most people aren't gonna be interested in my content in the first place, so it's fine, but... Like, I'm not going to try and, like, fault the thing anyway. It's just what it is. Like, again, most of the people I probably don't follow for follows for are, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Fortnite either, but I will watch it just because it's like, I like some of the seeing the characters and stuff like that in it too. I should think it would be possible. So let you try it out yourself, right? Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm at a point now where I don't need the follows. Like, I've not needed the follows for a while. Like, 50 is the minimum that you need. And it's like, at that point, most people who are doing follow for follow are going to be, are not going to stick around. Simply because it doesn't interest them. The content, like, I can already tell you right now, this is a visual novel. Most people aren't going to be interested in me just reading. But that's why I'm trying to do voices. I'm trying to do voices. I interact with my chat a lot. I point out like different, you know, there's lots of good things about this game, but it's not going to appeal to everybody. I can't stream like there are people that I watch that will only stream Fortnite, for example. I can't sit there and just watch Fortnite I could not play Fortnite every single stream. It would drive me insane. I need to have I need to have like a finish point. I need to have a finish point in a game. That's why I play single-player games, because like, hey, I can finish this game and say I'm finished, and then move it to the next one. Did. Detective Sky, if you would. Yeah, you only need, what, 50 followers, 3 average, so many hours streamed, and so many days streamed, like, and again, like, I get raids, and then I also find people via those as well. Yeah, see, all of my gaming's on stream. Like, all of my I don't try. The only stuff I do off stream is speedrun stuff, where I'm practicing, because it's like, there's no point in me doing a practice run of a speedrun, when I'm gonna do the full run later, so that's the only time I game off of stream is, like, all of my gaming's transitioned to streaming now. Which is good, because I like to experience one of the main reasons why I started streaming in the first place, was I was playing a lot of single-player games, and I didn't know how to feel about them, and I wanted to have a place to record everything and be like, okay, this is what my thoughts are of this game, and maybe I can help bounce off my viewers. To be like, hey, what did you think of the game? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did this appeal to you? Did that not appeal? So that was one of the reasons why I started, is because I just wanted to have do I play PC games? No. Because I'm only using the one monitor, so if I was playing on PC, I would have to have 2 monitors. I could do PC gaming, because I have a PC that would work with that, but, main reason I don't play on PC is, need another monitor if I did, and I also like to own my games, so physical copies. I don't like to buy digitally, so, I just, yeah, I've not played PC games in a long time. Once I started transitioning to Steam, at that point it was probably around the point where I stopped. Security asked me to try racing one of the male police officers with the stage lift. But a single word of explanation as to why he was making me do it. Most of my gaming's PS4 and Switch. Or all of it, I should say. It's either PS4 or Switch. So if you can really can foresee all about our counter-arguments. Do not underestimate this humble servant of the Holy Mother. More like haughty. I guess that means Tracy could have lifted the dead body up. Does that mean...
Hold it!
I'm trying to think, the last time I felt like I actually played PC games, like with... Because I've always played console. Outside of when I was a kid, I played a lot of PC, like, educational games, like point-and-click adventures and stuff like that. The last time that I played, PC games, like, multiplayer stuff, was, like, in high school. Like, I played a ton of Halo Custom Edition and, Counter-Strike, and that was... 16, 17 years ago. I played a lot of Halo Custom Edition and a lot of Counter-Strike in high school, so... Yeah, there are free game stuff, I understand that at the same time, but I like the idea of holding a copy of a game and saying, I own this, like, this is mine, they can't take it away from me. Co-op stuff, though, it depends on the game, though, because, I do have a co-op partner already, when I do stuff. Speaking of co-op stuff, there will be something co-op coming up soon. Is it next month? Let me check something. Is it next month that's coming out? Yeah, next month. Speaking of co-op stuff, though, yeah, next month is Super Mario Party Jamboree. That is a co-op game. I will be playing that, I'll probably be playing that with my sister, actually. We do, every time a new Mario Party comes out, we always play that co-op. So, sometime next month, potentially, or at least when we can find the time, we will be playing the new Super Mario Party game, on stream, together. Whether that be co-op or against each other, we'll play all the maps, we'll play all the mini-game stuff, all the bonus stuff. We'll go through the entire game and play everything. That's what we did that's what we've always done. Whenever there's a Mario Party title, we always play that together. So that's something to look forward to. Troops, you really have... What, Mr. Fan? Please finish your sentence. How do I do co-op? On the Switch, we have, well, on the Switch I have a capture card connected to a art tablet, and so we have I have a Pro controller for the Switch, and then we also have another controller that you can use for that as well. So we can both play on the same Switch remotely through thing, I believe. So that is what we're gonna try and do. We're gonna try and play some play some co-op Mario Party next month for the new game. And she has, I believe, Switch Online. So, but I don't know if that. I'm not sure how Switch Online works with that, because I was thinking like if it was possible that we could do viewer games, but I think everyone has to own the game is the issue. I try to beat around the bush. Come right and say it. Why not tell this court what you really believe? I really believe? Of course I don't believe Trilogy could ever commit murder. Also, whenever I do Pokemon stuff, whenever I do Pokemon streams, typically she's around, reminding me that I don't buy enough potions or Pokeballs. And occasionally when I'm trading stuff, she'll like help trade Pokemon and things. It's an amazing and wonderful magician would never do such a thing. Taking other facts into account, what else can I think? Know of at least 3 other unflattering things you could really think about, Drusy. How can you attack this girl when she is obviously speaking with reserve? There is such a thing as reading between the lines, Mr. Justice. It's sad how the youthful today lack the ability to do such a basic thing. Looking at me like this isn't gonna help me stick my foot in my mouth less, Your Honor. Witness, please describe what the accused might have used to lift a dead body. But yeah, there might be more co-op streams at some point. It just depends on the games. Like, I do have co-op games that I could play, but I've already played them, and I have such a big backlog left over that I have to... I'm trying to get through the backlog. It's very hard. It's very hard to get through the backlog without, like, adding more games to it. Like, I already bought a game. I already bought a game today. I bought the next game of this, so the Edgeworth Investigations collection came out yesterday, so that's gonna be arriving at some point. So hopefully it arrives by the time we finish this, so we can jump right into it.
Hold it!
And that'll be the last game until the crossover, if they ever do that, or the new if they make a new one. Stage lift 2. You mean the stage lift shown here on the left? That's right, with the stage lift. I think even a small girl could easily lift a dead body up to the stage. So that makes her the murderer, in your opinion? Of course not, I believe in Trucy. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of hers. Oh, brother. How long is she gonna keep this act up? Defense, what position was Stage Lift 2 in after the show? Let's see. If I recall, it was in the fully raised position. And the reason why it was fully raised is because the accused used it to lift the victim's body. Wouldn't you agree? We're gonna get the rosary beads thrown at us again. Feel free to slowly mull it over while you roast over the flames of hell, you evil red pepper. So now I'm also evil. Getting insulted by the prosecutor. Classic Ace Attorney.
Hold it!
Alright. That's all your statements, Prest. Didn't have a single spare moment to slip down to the understage passage. Don't tell me you suspect me now. Just trying to do my job by fully examining your alibi. Depending on how solid it is, I might suspect you, yes. Gotta be kidding me. Don't spit on my head and tell me it's raining, lawyer boy. I'm right there in the footage. Are you too much of an idiot to see? Alright, Bunny Girl's mad now. Mr. Fame? The Fam? Fame? The Fam, I guess. Are you feeling alright? You seem suddenly different. Oops, where'd that come from, right? Oh my, I seemed to have snapped there for a second, didn't I? Tee-hee! Didn't just snap, you broke character just now. In any case, I was on stage the whole time, performing magic. I mean, you saw me in the footage, right? My dazzling and flawless performance. Flawless? That's odd, considering what you told me. You said that you made a mistake with where you positioned Mr. Hat. Mr. Farm? I'm gonna say it's Fame. Mr. Fame? To what does the defense refer? Well, I made a little mistake on stage. He's in charge of operating Mr. Hat, you see. According to the script, I'm supposed to place him on the left of the coffin. But I flubbed it up, made him stand to the right of the coffin instead. Because of that mistake, Trucy had to move the stage lift around. I feel really bad about messing Trucy up like that with my goof. Tee. Darn it, I don't see any inconsistencies with it in her testimony. Now, do you know who the real killer is? Come on, Gramps, don't just sit there, and then you're rolling pronto. Do it quick before you keel up over here. I beg your pardon? Oops. What's gotten into me? I'm so sorry. I give her another 5 minutes before she tears off that mask. Well, Defense. Are you ready to let all go now? Of course not, I'll never give up. I see. I suppose this too is fate. The sacred scriptures of Koreanism describe a variety of hells for the damned. For someone like you, who struggles ceaselessly against his fate, Pabul Bolshig seems more appropriate. I think I pronounced that correctly. People boil... what? Oh wait, that's Koreanese. What sort of terrible place is Pabul Bolshig? A place where the more one struggles, the further one falls into the abyss. At the bottom of the abyss, a ferocious beast awaits. Think of it as something akin to an antlion sandpit trap. There's one of those in my backyard. Wow, Koreanist hell is closer to home than I thought. Now then. It would appear that the witness's testimony supports the prosecution's claim. But the defendant is the only one who could have killed the victim on the stage. How are we supposed to get out of this jam? Yeah, Polo, if you can't find any contradictions, maybe it's time to use analytical psychology. You mean... I heard some discord in Bonnie's voice while she was testifying. Yep, read Matrix time. See? Witches pick up on the noise in her heart, too. That's right. Athena can hear things others can't with her super sensitive hearing. She can hear the emotions people suppress the kind of noise or discord in their voices. Alright, Athena, let's give it a try. Got it.
Hold it!
Your Honor, I'm afraid that our witness, Mr. Fame, is suffering from terrible traumatic stress due to this horrific incident. She is? She has Jekyll and Hyde syndrome, it seems like. Yes, what with that terrible death on stage? And her beloved Trucy getting arrested, she's under awful strain and shock. In fact, I don't know how much more she can take before she's unfit to testify. Oh, I've heard of that. What is it called? Postal stress disorder, right? Postal stress disorder? No, I'm pretty sure it's post-traumatic stress disorder. Postal stress disorder sounds like, fear of the post office. Or stress because your mail hasn't been delivered on time or something. It's where a person becomes uncontrollably angry, I think. I read about it somewhere. That's going postal, Your Honor. This is PTSD. Oh my. So that's why the witness acts so hostile at times, as if she was a different person. Yes, and I think her condition is clouding her memory of the incident. Therefore, I suggest a short therapy session for the witness. Therapy? You You know the first thing about a magician's mental strength. Risk my life jumping through rings of fire and having my body sawn in half. Whoopsie! Boy, you have to watch my temper, don't I? Tee. Sykes, please do whatever you can to help this unfortunate young lady. What exactly is this child planning to do, Miss Justice? With her super sensitive hearing, Miss Sykes can hear and witnesses true emotions. Simply from tone and inflection, she can tell exactly what a person is feeling. I can even pick out feelings that the witness is trying to suppress or hide. Widget projects the emotions I hear into the mood matrix where I can analyze them. Sounds like some sort of spurious devilry. Though I find that hard to believe, I must ask. How do emotions constitute evidence? Well, I won't say that emotions can be taken as evidence per se. I have seen how instrumental Miss Sykes' work has been in cracking a case. Therefore, I wholly support giving it a try. I see. If you're in favor of it, Your Honor, then I have no objections. Even this mere monk can see that something disturbs a witness. I'll disturb you. Thank you for understanding, Prosecutor Marty. Probably you remember how to conduct a therapy session, right? You want me to lead the session? Of course. You're the lead in this case, after all. Fair enough. I need a refresher. You know what? We may as well. Like, we haven't had a refresher course yet in the game. They might have changed slightly. Okay, but I think I could use a refresher. And yes, her password is a smiley face. So Bonnie's emotions are shown here in the mood matrix, right? Exactly. The emotions I pick up from her testimony are projected into this program. The mood matrix is a visual representation of a victim's testimony, witness's testimony, and emotions. These four mood markers reflect fluctuations in a witness's emotions. As the testimony unfolds, the mood markers flash in reaction to the witness's feelings. So it should be the same thing. So when the witness feels happy and is enjoying the memory, the happy marker will light up. When the witness feels angry or frustrated, the angry marker will react. When the witness feels sad or is scared by a memory, the sad marker will blink. When the witness feels surprised or confused, the surprise marker will tell us. Okay, remember now. You need to find a conflict between what she's saying and which mood markers are blinking. That's right, Mr. Fan. Mr. Fame definitely has some conflicted emotions. See? Widget reacts to the suppressed emotions I pick up and projects them as noise. We can pinpoint the inconsistencies between our testimony and our feelings. The noise level should drop to 0, and the therapy session will be a success. When you find an unexpected emotion, first pinpoint it with L1, and then select the unexpected emotion or reaction from the four mood markers with X. Okay, now to give it a whirl. Let's get things started, shall we? Okay, so sadness makes sense here. Sadness there would make sense. Maybe happy not being here would make sense, but I don't think that's gonna matter. Then the mistake makes sense with the surprise, so yeah, that would make sense too. Sadness here would make sense. I feel so bad about it, but she's happy. So that's probably the pinpoint that we have to make here, I think.
Got it!
I think that's what we have to do. Which I guess would fill in... To say Mr. Fame. I keep saying the Fame. You certainly are a strange one. Even though you said I feel so bad about it, it seems you were feeling happy about it. You can guess why you were feeling happy. It must be because it was Trucy's big debut, you made a mistake, or you messed Trucy up. I'm guessing that the reasoning would be... Well, she wouldn't be happy that she made a mistake. It would have to be because she messed Trucy up because of the... we saw in the preview of the... not the preview, like in the last stream, right before we finished the stream yesterday, we saw that she was, like, had two different sides to her. So I think she was happy. I think you were happy because you messed the defendant up. I'm right, aren't I? You gotta be kidding me. Why, I would be happy I messed Trucy up. I'm a big fan of hers. Because we saw you. I hate her, I loathe her. Can't stand that Trucy, right? I don't know what type of voice I want to do for her. Just because she's a little good at magic, she thinks she's all that. So this is exactly what that sniveling brat deserves. I'm not very good with the female voices in this game. We saw how you said you hated Trucy, right? How you were glad she was in trouble. And even how it was what she deserved. Looks like I hit the bunny on the head, so to speak. Alright, well, she's mad. Oh, the noise level dropped. Now if we get it down to 0. Well, Mr. Fame, are you ready to confess how you really feel? What do you mean? I'm Bonnie, the sweet, cute little bunny. I'm a rookie magician working hard to be just like my other Trucy. That's the character I'm supposed to be.
Objection!
Keep that up, Mr. Fame, and you're gonna have a mental breakdown. Just let yourself be who you really are. Who I really am? The two sides of you are fighting each other and doing you psychic harm. I can hear them. Two distinct voices battling inside you. Shut your pie hole. You know nothing. You know nothing. Know-it-all. I mean, you mustn't say things like that, or I might get flustered. Mr. Fame, how long do you insist on maintaining this wolf in sheep's clothing act? You can't end this therapy session until you get real with us. Set the wild beast inside you free. I was thinking like a why I order like a damn Harley Quinn kind of voice. But I don't know if I can do that in like a while talking. Don't make me laugh. You know a damn thing about me. Wanna see who I really am? Fine. Take a good look. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Okay. Yep. What in the world? Sheep's clothing? You got it all wrong. It's a rabbit suit. I can't do the voice. That's the problem. I can't keep the voice if I swapping between things. I'm just gonna do the normal thing. It's a rabbit suit I've got on. Not a wolf. I'm a blood-sucking vampire. A bite with fangs and wings. A bat with fangs and wings, sorry. I feel like I've changed this character's voice like 5 times. We just opened Pandora's box. Finally done with that goody two-shoes cottontail act. Feel free as a bat. Friends, your therapy session has taken a turn for the worse from the looks of it. There's a perfectly good explanation for this. Isn't there, Miss Sanks? Methinks I created a monster. We blew it. Hey you, lobster boy. Who, me? You think I'm glad Trish is in trouble? That I think she's getting just desserts? That's supposed to be just desserts, not just deserts. guess what? You're right. Does this mean you admit to wishing the defendant harm? Well, the bat is out of the bag now. Let's take a mind was a work of art. Next to my goose poor little Trucy had to do all that hard physical labor. When you say hard physical labor, what are you referring to? Because of Mr. Hat's new position, Trucy had to move both of those huge stage lifts. Must have been so heavy. What a riot. That's strange. Athena, could you please add that last statement to Bonnie's testimony? Alright, I'll update the mood matrix with the new info. Hey, Apollo. Now there's a new inconsistency in the testimony. Yeah, she finally stepped up. So what do I need to do now? Well, from this point onward, you just do what you do best. Find the contradiction in the testimony and present evidence to refute it. Alright, I've got you now, Bonnie DeFam. Bonnie DeFam. Guess Trucy's like Mr. Ruiz. That's the same thing. You know what? Serves her right. Oh, we're gonna present something. Thanks to that, she ended up having to move the stage lifts. We have proof here. This.
Objection!
That doesn't make sense. What, so you think I'm crazy now? No, that's not the point I was trying to make. But I don't hear you denying it. Mr. Fame, allow me to repeat your statement. Thanks to that, she ended up having to move the stage lifts. That's right, and I still say that's just what she... But how did you know? How did you know Miss Wright moved the stage lifts? According to her own statement, she didn't tell anyone that she had done so. So how could you possibly have known what she had done unless you saw her? You saw Miss Wright moving the lifts in the underside's passage, didn't you? I like the avatar. It reminds me of like the devil. You did it, Apollo. Noise levels are at 0%. But Mr. Justice, wouldn't that mean? Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Fame herself was under the stage where the victim was killed. But how they need to tell the court what that means. You are one artful liar, Mr. Fame, and one spectacular suspect. What, you shiny red lobster boy? You're saying I killed Miss Ruiz? Killed Mr. Ruiz? Ruiz, yeah. Saying that it's a possibility. What's more? I say you had a solid motive to frame my client for the murder as well.
Objection!
My apologies for running on the defense's merry revelry. You seem to have forgotten one very important point. Oh, really? The TV footage. As you can clearly see, Mr. Fame was on the stage the whole time. The entire audience can bear witness to that fact, including you. Oh, yeah? You have just taken a long and senseless journey, and they returned to the starting line. The witness could not have been in the understate's passage, which means... the only one left who could have killed the victim is the accused. The party's over. Guess it is. But... Mr. Pham knew something she couldn't have known unless she was under the stage. How do you explain that, Prosecutor, said Marty. It's quite simple. The accused must have told Mr. Pham about it and then forgot. Open those closed eyes of yours and take a good look at the footage. Mr. Pham really was in the understage passage. It would mean she was on stage and understage at the same time. You mean she was in two places at once? Does seem to be the only explanation that makes any sense. Maybe an explanation, but I'm not sure about the make sense part. Then we'll just have to make it make sense. Your Honor, the witness was both on stage and understage at the same time. That is the defense's assertion. I've heard some illogical things come out of you before, but this is absurd. So you change your tune once you hear my reasoning, Your Honor. My gut tells me you're bluffing, but I'll bite. Very well, Mr. Justice. How do you explain how the witness was in two places at once? She teleported, there were two Bonnies, or the Bonnies on stage were fake. Well, she couldn't have teleported. The Bonnie on stage was fake. The Bonnie on stage was fake. Wouldn't be true because she was the one that we have actually talked to. So, there must be two Bonnies somehow. There were two Bonnies, Your Honor. If that were the case, it would all make sense, wouldn't it? There were... two of them? I suspect you had a few screws loose, but now I see some are missing altogether. Is there a toolkit in this courtroom, Your Honor? I suppose two, no, three screws to the head should lighten this putrid brain. Very well, bailiff, could you...
Hold it!
No, wait. Please listen to my argument. Very well. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to at least give you the lesson. As was argued earlier, Mr. Pham is shown in the footage the whole time. But at the same time, she was also watching Miss Wright in the interstage passage. The only possible explanation is that there are two Bonnies. That almost sounds like it makes sense. What do you think, Prosecutor Son Marty? This humble servant of the Holy Mother is of the opinion that we should lose no time in replacing the defense's many lost screws. But Apollo, it goes against reality itself to say that one person's actually two. But we don't have to be bound by reality. After all, we're talking about magic here. So if the Bonnie to Pham in the footage is the real Bonnie, and the Bonnie here on the witness stand, the one who must have been on the stage, this Bonnie to Pham is our second Bonnie. She is? Say we call the one in front of us Bonnie number 2. I believe I have just the piece of evidence to prove that a Miss Bonnie 2 exists. Then please submit your evidence, Mr. Justice. What proves the existence of a Bonnie number 2? We have this.
Take that!
Because there was 2 sets of fingerprints. And remember, when it comes to fingerprints, even with twins, or duplicates, I guess, I believe they still have a unique fingerprint. I don't think there's anyone in the world that has a... As far as I know, there's no one that has a unique, a fingerprint that's exactly the same. I believe every fingerprint is uniquely different. During our investigation, we found a set of unknown prints on the coffin on the stage. These prints were most likely left during the course of the show. They didn't match the prints of any of the people involved in this case. No third party's fingerprints. I was not told of this. I must have kept it from him. So the question is, who could these prints possibly belong to? Mr. Fame, or should I say Bonnie number 2? These are your fingerprints, aren't they? Oh no, he's gonna throw the. I thought he was gonna throw the beads at us again. Enough of this foolishness. One person could not possibly be two. Those fingerprints could have been left not only during the show, but at any time.
Objection!
It's not like you lose your cool like that. Once you get a son, Marty. I'm sure you know that. Exactly when the fingerprints were made is not the main issue. What do you mean by that, Mr. Justice? The issue is who do these unknown prints belong to? They're certainly not Bonnie DeFames. But what if they belong to the person standing right in front of us? You mean Bonnie number 2 is the second Bonnie? Is that what you're implying? It's preposterous to suggest that those prints belong to the witness. I say they must belong to some other unknown individual. Prosecutor said, Marty, can you really look at her and still say that? What are you looking at? Take a picture to last longer. How could this be? If we check her prints, I'm sure they'll match the unknown set. Well, Bonnie, the prints that don't belong to the real you belong to you, don't they, Bonnie number 2? Witness, is what the defense has said true? Fine, I admit it. The fingerprints are mine. Then does that mean you aren't Bonnie DeFame? Ridiculous. I wonder if we'll see them both at the same time. That would be an interesting little twist. Are they really 2 Bonnies? We're about to find out. Nope, there's only 1 Bonnie. That's because I'm Betty. Betty DeFame. Okay, now we have ladies and gentlemen of the court, it's time for a wondrous magic show. Okay, are we gonna get a magical girl-like transformation? I wonder, or something like that. Gasp in amazement as this Lego-morphing illusionist performs her teleportation magic. Watch closely, it's showtime. Alright, what kind of transformation are we getting? I was gonna say anime? How do we tell the difference between them? Maybe the ears? Oh, and the umpires. What an amazing trick! The witness has suddenly split into 2 people! Now I'm confused as to how they were able to do that, this whole time. Now I've got, it's not a trick, a gimmick to it, either. We're simply twins. So that's how the teleportation trick works. Since our debut, we've had to hide or pretend our body. Oh, cute, sweet, and goody-goody. Can't tell how stressful it's been. I'm gonna have to just voice them the same, because it's basically the same character, just doing this, different things. But I don't have to hide anymore. That's right, our days of sneaking around are finally over. Their cover is blown, but they actually seem pretty happy about it. So which one is the nice Bonnie DeFame and we met in the dressing room? That would be me. And the sharp-tongued Bonnie we saw in the ratings Raja on the stage was... Hey, you're calling sharp-tongued. It's all starting to make sense now. So Betty DeFame's fingerprints were found. So much dust. I'm tired. This changes the facts. of the case rather dramatically, doesn't it? Certainly does. During the show, it was Bonnie who was on stage the whole time. So Bonnie could have committed the crime. But Betty, on the other hand, who was understage, did have the opportunity. Well, so we now have two suspects? Wait just a minute there, Lobster Boy. I didn't do it. That's right. Betty might have a foul mouth, but she never killed anybody. Hey, who's got a foul mouth here? Oh, well, speak up, huh?
Hold it!
Please save your siblings' squabbling for later. Why am I yawning? I don't know why I'm tired. I don't feel tired. It's like 4 in the afternoon. Like, I don't know why I'm... Maybe it's because I haven't, like, really done much. I don't know. I have been staring at a computer for, like, the whole time, but... Must have been in the understage passage during the show. Otherwise, you wouldn't have known about the stage that's being moved. So what exactly were you doing down there? Fine, I'll testify. Anything to get you off my back. Do we have 2 things now, or just the one? We do. Betty DeFame, age 19, a magician who performed with Trucy. She's actually Bonnie's twin sister. What's you gonna say, Marty? Betty DeFame is ready to testify. What do you say? Betty, you lied to this humble servant of the Holy Mother. Hey, what else could I do? Couldn't blow our cover and ruin our magic act. Besides, am I gonna go to your Twilight Hell or whatever for being a liar? You will indeed. However, it won't be after your death. Rather, I shall give you a taste of your punishment on this mortal coil. In interrogation hell. Now then, Betty DeFame, please explain to the court what exactly you were doing under the stage. Okay, what happened on the stage? It's true, I had business in the understage passage because of the upcoming trick. It was the fire trick, right? The one Mr. Rios was supposed to do. That's right, it's a very dangerous trick, so I had to make sure we were prepared for it. It's in the script, and I really wanted to see it, but I couldn't because of the accident. Shut up, you're gonna give it away. Anyway, I was real busy. Way too busy to have the chance to kill Mr. Rios. Rios, my mind is melting, my brain is melting. Well, that was certainly different. How's that for a fool's testimony and alibi? Our magic is real, it's not a trick or a gimmick. Oh my, she's floating! Really? Your Honor. You can see she's being held up from below. You were supposed to pretend you didn't see that. It's a little something called etiquette. But I can't help it. Whenever I see a contradiction or inconsistency, I just have to point it out. Now then, the defense may begin its cross-examination. I mean, I didn't see any hands. Alright, press all the statements obviously first, because we can get some more banter out of these characters.
Hold it!
If you were in the understage passage, which need I remind you was the crime scene, then you most certainly should be counted as a potential suspect. But I don't have any motive to kill Mr. Reeves. But you, by your own admission, hate Miss Rain. When she was arrested as a suspect, you said it was what she deserved.
Objection!
So you believe the witness killed a man, simply due to her dislike of Juicy rights? As a motive, something improbable at best. What if her hatred caused her to bear a strong sense of malice against my client? Look, Tracy just made her mad, that's all. I mean, even though she's younger than me, she got so much skill and popularity. And she's cute. Besides, she makes me so mad. I wish she would drop dead. Betty, you don't talk like that. Shut your yap. So was it just simple jealousy? Say, Betty, that next trick you were getting ready for? Yeah, I think the way you're supposed to tell the difference between them is the umbrellas and the bunny ear.
Hold it!
The outfits look similar. We're trying to save Betty's testimony. We're trying to get Betty's testimony right now, so... Oh, right. I'm sorry. You can step down if you'd like. I'm worried about Betty, though. She can lose her temper and say awful things sometimes. Hey, what are you, my mother? Don't forget, I'm the older sister, you got that? Yes, I got it. Guess I'd worry about Mount Betty constantly blowing her top if I were Bonnie, too. So, Betty, you were down on the stage getting ready for the fire trick, were you?
Hold it!
We're taking every necessary precaution, is that right? Of course, every precaution. After all, it's a very dangerous trick that uses real fire. I mean, we had to be ready in case the curtain caught on fire or something, right? By the time people realized it wasn't a part of the act, it might be too late, huh? By people, you mean Athena Sykes, then yes. Wow, a fire trick! That sounds really impressive. Your beard would go up in smoke, old man. I bet people have mistaken for a cue ball or something without it. A cue ball? Betty, don't be rude to the judge. Betty, you know that fire trick?
Hold it!
I see the fire trick was a part of the script. Seems Mr. Rios was scheduled to perform it later in the show. Did you not get to see him practice it beforehand? No, during rehearsal he said he didn't feel well, so he couldn't breathe any fire for me. Wait, let me get this straight. He couldn't breathe fire because he wasn't feeling well? I'm gonna sneeze in a second. Let me just mute the stream. Okay, I think it's gone. I didn't even need to sneeze. Okay. My magical powers appear to be on the wane today. That's what he said. So it was just a part of his usual, the Great Rios trick. It's really too bad I didn't get to see the trick because of the incident. It's completely unexpected, of course. Hey!
Hold it!
So what exactly do you mean by you're gonna give it away? See, Bonnie, you and your big mouth. You know, Lobster Boy wants to know what we're talking about. I'm sorry. Yes, well, if you were preparing for the next magic trick, I'm sure you wouldn't have had the time to commit murder. Wow, look like the old geezer hasn't seen her just yet, huh? I bet you'll live a good long life. I'd like to be sitting up here at least another 10 years. 10 more years? I don't know about that. What did we discuss about inner monologues, Athena? A lot more power to you, I guess. In any case, I was so busy I didn't have the time to off anybody. Are you just trying to cover for Betty? No, of course not. I believe in my sister. I should never murder anyone. But you think my client would? No, I believe in Trucy too. I should never murder anyone either. Well, we just ran out of suspects in that case. Yes, but... See? You should have kept your mouth shut, dummy. You're just making a fool of yourself. Just be nice and quiet like a good little bunny, got it? Alright. Guess I'm no help. Oh boy. It's impossible to get anything out of Bonnie, with Betty right there. So Betty was too busy getting ready for the next trick to have time for murder, huh? There must be some way to prove that that wasn't the case. We do have some evidence we can probably present, because we... they did mention about the fire bucket, so I'm thinking that's the... They mentioned about the fire, I should say. When we pressed this statement, they were talking about the fire bucket, but this was never actually used. Yeah, why were you mentioning the fire trick when the fire trick was not actually done? We have proof that the bucket was... We have proof that even if the fire trick was done, there was no water in the bucket in the first place, so... yeah, what's up with that?
Objection!
I hate to break this to you, Betty, but there's a big flaw in your testimony. As big as the one in that floating trick you did earlier. Harsh words. Well, let me tell you something, forehead boy. No one has ever figured out how we do our teleportation trick. No one except me, you mean? Well, we have even better tricks up our sleeves. We do? I told you to keep it zipped. No, don't fight, you two. Mr. Justice, what's this about a flaw in the testimony? The script has this to say about the fire trick. This will be dangerous. Make sure the fire bucket is ready. However, we found the fire bucket lying empty backstage except for a layer of dust. You didn't even attempt to get ready for the next trick, did you, Betty? You got me. Ready to fire him? You will explain yourself. It's nothing to be explained. Come on, Betty. You can't hide it any longer. You might as well tell him. Shut up. You can barely take care of yourself. Don't try and tell me what to do. Well, if neither of you will explain, I guess I'll have to. The reason Betty didn't prepare for the fire trick is because she's afraid of fire, knew that the show wouldn't go on and was slacking off. Well, we don't know that she's afraid of fire. Most people would be, though, I would think. Slacking off didn't seem to be the case, so the only other option would be that she knew that the show wasn't going on, which would, again, would make sense, because my theory on who the culprit is that they were working with, her, so something's definitely up. Didn't prepare for the fire trick because you knew, didn't you? You knew that the body would be found, and that the show would then be cancelled. Don't be ridiculous, you insignificant speck of a man. You're gonna yank those lame bangs of yours off. Is that what you want, huh?
Objection!
Whatever, they can grow back. Now stop stalling and just tell us the truth already. Can't reveal my secrets, I'm a magician.
Objection!
You have been chasing the shadow of an illusionary culprit defense. Having chanced upon a convenient target, you've let yourself get carried away. Exactly. Where's your proof, huh? And yet, I can see that the witness's taste for false words has also been proven. I advise you to confine your deceitful trickery to your magic act, witness. Deceitful trickery?
Objection!
To the corner-pointed therapist, I'd like you to add something here, Betty. You finally let yourself be who you really are. But if you continue to hide behind lies, you'll just be imprisoning your heart all over again. But all these questions mean you're trying to put me in prison for real. I'll be behind bars either way. Does that mean you're admitting your guilt? Of course not. I can't believe you people. Every one of you thinks I did something I didn't do. You. Lobster Boy, Cue Ball Geezer, Headcase Brat, Cerberus Monk. Cue Ball Geezer? Headcase Brat? Really? Betty, calm down. Come on now, deep breaths, deep breaths. Look, I'm not the murderer, I tell you. And how did you know the show would be called off before the fire trick? I told you, we can't reveal our secrets. We're under contract. Contract? What are you talking about? Be that as it may, you're obviously a suspect in this case.
Objection.
I'm beginning to see. Oh, you're just listening to the plot. I mean, that's it. That's interesting. Okay, so, obviously I'm seeing what's going on. I'm seeing what's going on in the case. But if you're just listening to the plot, how different is listening to the plot compared to actually like watching it? Because I feel like just listening to it, it's like you're gonna get a completely different context about what's actually happening. Hopefully the painkillers help out though. The karmic threads that make up the intricate tapestry that is this case. Allow me to summarize your assertions, defense. First, that the victim was killed in the understage passage. And second, that the witness and the accused are the only ones, the only two who could have done it. It's less slapstick audio-wise, but animation-wise it's silly and great. Okay. Exactly. What's more, Betty knew that the body would be found. That the magic show would then be called off. That's the good thing about these games, is that, like, you can still, like... if you're watching it, you can still get, like, the animations and silliness and stuff, but even in the audio, just by me reading the text and how silly some of the characters are. Therefore, it's reasonable to conclude that Betty killed the victim on the stage. But what if Betty knew that the show would be called off for some reason? Like what? In the course of my investigation, I found it strange that the dragon set piece fell when it did. That in conjunction with the body tumbling from the coffin in such a dramatic fashion, all seemed too perfect for mere happenstance. It was as though the entire chain of events had been planned out in advance. Planned out? After deciding to take this case, I scrupulously studied everything I could about the mass media in this country. I read the newspaper, old news reports, I even browsed tabloid magazines. How very industrious of you. I'm impressed. During this process, I learned about a strange practice favored by the TV world. A practice called the hidden camera prank. Betty and Bonnie, you knew about this, did you not? About the dead body appearing, the set piece falling, the show being suspended. You two were informed of this plan by Take-Two TV in advance, correct? Is that true? Betty, please, let's tell them now. I can't hold it in anymore. Dang it, it's fine. You got us. prosecutor said it's true. The TV station paid us to cooperate with them on this plan. It was all a prank. Big setup planned out in advance. Yep, whenever you find yourself as the thing, just always say it was a prank. That will always get you out of the situation. Just always say it's a prank. No one will ever doubt you otherwise. Just always say it's a prank. Mr. Rue was showing up dead in the coffin. The set piece falling down. It was all completely scripted. It was all a prank. Yeah. Tell that to the murder victim. Bonnie, is this really true? Yes, Mr. Lewis was supposed to pretend to be dead. That's how it was supposed to go. So he was in on it too. That's right, he was supposed to show up dead in the coffin. And then the set piece would fall down. Trilogy would be shocked and start to panic. That's how the prank script went. What the heck kind of prank is that? But we never thought he'd actually wind up dead. Yeah, that was the only thing that was different from the script. Poor Mr. Lewis. Reyes. So completely lost right now. Oh, Buddy and Buddy, it certainly sounds like you have some explaining to do. Right, alright. Guess the desperate times call for desperate measures. Just this once, we'll share how it was done with you. So listen carefully, you never hear this kind of thing anywhere else. After a teleportation trick, I went down on the stage. Mr. Reyes' body appeared from the coffin on stage. It's time for Betty to do her job in the onstage passage. That's right, I used the remote control for the winch connected to the dragon set piece. And made it fall down. Just before the dragon fell, he pulled Trish to the backstage so she wouldn't get hurt. After that, the plan was for Mr. Reyes to come back to life in front of a panic Trucy. He was supposed to laugh and fly up and away. That was how it was scripted anyway. But for some reason, he really did turn up dead, so he kind of just stayed on the ground. What kind of sick joke is that? Sounds like a terribly mean-spirited prank to me. The poor defendant was trying to do a magic show. Guess so. I'm sorry, Trucy. Whatever. It was all the Rage Raj's idea anyway. Yeah, it sounds just like the kind of thing a guy like him would come up with. This is the prank plan script we got from the Ratings Raja. Prank plan script, the corpse appearing and the set piece falling were staged by Roger Retton. Dang it, you made us break our contract. Now we won't get paid. Can I read the actual script? So Mr. Rios' body will appear in the supposedly empty coffin, which should cause a big ruckus. After capturing a bit of Truce's reaction on film, Mr. Rios will come back to life, laughing and flying up into the air, causing another round of surprise. But where does this all leave us? Who killed the victim, and when? Yes, exactly. Those are the key questions. Mr. Rios was only pretending to be dead in the coffin as part of a prank. Then when he was on the stage, there would still be life within him. And if that is the case, then Betty, who was also on the stage, may be excluded from our list of suspects. Witness, was the victim alive up until he entered the coffin? Well, now we've spilled the beans, we might as well show you this video. Okay, we're gonna see a video now. Greetings, viewers! It is I, the great Mr. Lewis. We are currently in the middle of Trucy's escape trick. Having snuck through the understage passage undetected, I'm now hiding backstage. preparing to play a little prank on Trucy. I'm about to hide in the coffin, which Trucy will stab with her rubber sword. And when the coffin opens, oh, I will be in it, acting as though I've met my maker. Can you imagine the look on Trucy's face then? Oh, I can hardly wait. He's about to hide in the coffin? Would seem the threads of karmic destiny led us to the truth. The victim passed through the understage where Betty DeFame was and came up into the backstage area. We know this because Mr. Reyes appeared to be backstage when he shot the video we saw. Appears that way, yes. In defense, you posed the following, did you not? What if the victim was killed under the stage before being put into the coffin? But then what about this video? This footage was taken just before Mr. Reyes entered the coffin. So does that mean? Yes, it is horrible but true. The tragedy did indeed play out right there on the stage. Went into the coffin where Mr. Reyes was hiding. Trucy right thrust her blade. See? Told you so. So you're saying the incident was a tragic accident that happened during a prank? It would be an accident. The accused had no knowledge of the prank beforehand. So let us ask the accused herself. Miss Wright, did you have prior knowledge of the prank? What? Tell him, Trucy. You didn't know anything about it, right? Of course I didn't. I didn't know a single thing about it.
Objection.
Still think you can play innocent, do you? In that case, you leave me little choice but to present this piece of evidence. It looks like some sort of note. I found this note in the dressing room after the incident. At the time, I did not understand what it meant, but all is clear to me now. Why don't you get the video camera after Mr. Reyes comes tumbling out? True, signed by Trucy. What's this? Let's see. It says, get the video camera after Mr. Reyes comes tumbling out. It is a note signed by the accused, instructing Bonnie to collect Mr. Reyes' video camera from him, it seems. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. I found it in the dressing room before the show. When I saw it, I realized that Trucy knew about the prank. It does bear a signature. I'll give it you that much. Trucy's note, a record, a note found in the dressing room after the incident that bears Trucy's signature. So the defendant had prior knowledge of the prank. Let's check the actual evidence. Oh, it's just the same. It would appear so, yes. When she learned about the plan to trick her, she decided to use it to her own advantage. So she thrust the steel sword into the coffin where the victim stood chuckling to himself. Is that what happened, Mr. Wright? Of course not. I didn't write or sign that note. But the handwriting matches yours. All of the evidence and testimony points to you being the culprit. But I didn't do it. It wasn't me. Then explain the existence of this note. You can do that, can you not? I can't explain it. I didn't write it, so I don't understand. I didn't kill Mr. Reyes. You have to believe me. Silence is deafening. Continue struggling against threads of your own karma if you wish accused. Even as you were inescapably caught in the web of fate you've spun for yourself. Miss Wright, it is time to resign yourself to your fate. No, I didn't do it. I knew it. That sweet-looking girl, a murderer. She took it all of us with that act of hers. I told you, I knew she was a homicidal little witch from the start. But I didn't do it. I really didn't. Why doesn't anybody believe me? Shut up, you killer. We won't fall for that anymore. This is bad. Your Honor, I suggest we put an end to this tragedy now. Give your official ruling and let us offer the victim's soul the last rites it deserves. Very well. I suppose I have no other choice. This court hereby finds the defendant choosing right.
Objection!
Not yet. Not yet. Not over. Defense has an objection. Apollo? You, even now you would. I give up, and I refuse to let either of them down. Mr. Wright, who's counting on me, and Trilogy's put all of her faith in me. Mr. Justice, the fact that you have raised an objection means that you have evidence with which to refute the prosecution's claims, correct? Yes, of course, Your Honor. Do we really have anything, Apollo? Actually, we do. There's one piece of evidence we can present here. Very well, Mr. Justice, you may proceed. As we saw in the show footage, there's no question that the defendant thrust the sword into the coffin. The defense doesn't dispute this point. But let us not forget that it was a magic show filled with tricks and illusions. You can't take everything we see at face value. So you're saying some sleight of hand was somehow involved? Yes, the defense contends that the sword the defendant used was not the cause of death. Now, what was it that Trilogy told me she did just before she thrust the sword into the coffin? Very well, let us see your evidence then, Mr. Justice. But remember, you interrupted my verdict to make this claim. Oh, it's worth 3 points now. You will be severely penalized if I find you are bluffing. It's a big penalty. That's fine, Your Honor. This shows that it's possible that the sword Miss Wright used was not the cause of death. We have the actual sword stand here.
Take that!
What's this? A sword from the show? That's right, Your Honor. This rubber sword was in the sword stand. This rubber sword was in the sword stand on the stage. During the trick, Miss Wright was supposed to swap the real sword for a rubber sword. She told us on record that she remembers very clearly that she did. I see. So the sword the defendant thrust into the coffin was a rubber sword, was it? But then why was a steel sword found lying in the stage? Somebody must have put the steel sword there by swapping it with the rubber one. Just after the incident occurred, the dragon set piece fell and the theater was evacuated. The real culprit must have used the resulting chaos to swap the rubber sword for the steel one.
Objection!
Do you not know when to give up, stink bug? That is not possible. Blood was found in the coffin hole that the sword was thrust into. Must have been left there when the accused withdrew the sword. This is incontrovertible proof that the sword she used was the steel one.
Objection!
That blood could be the result of someone tampering with the crime scene after the fact. After the set piece fell and the audience was cleared out of the theater, there was plenty of time for somebody to plant that blood there.
Objection!
sword the accused was used was a rubber one. Then when exactly do you propose the victim was killed? Given that Mr. Ruiz was alive when he entered that coffin.
Objection!
Finding the answer to that question is precisely why we need to continue this trial. Let me express my opinion. By all accounts, it is certainly reasonable to suspect the defendant based on the evidence. But as to the question of whether the sword the defendant used was rubber or steel, I believe further discussion is warranted. I suggest we hear from the defendant herself on this issue. Very well, Your Honor. Yes, I saved it. Somehow. Too close for comfort, still. Front photo of the court record. There are traces of blood in one of the coffin's holes. It's possible the blood was placed there after the fact. Let's adjourn for a brief 15-minute recess. I advise the prosecution and the defense to use this time to prepare. April 28th, District Courtroom. District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. That was hairy. Tell me about it. We barely made it through by the skin of our teeth. Can't say I'm crazy about that prosecutor Sadmati either. You know, with the way he says, let it go and move on as if it's nothing. Let it go and move on, huh? Oh boy, am I interrupting a secret conclave of villains or something? Oh, you're back. Got your next evil scheme in the works already. What do you want? Keep making that face, champ, and everybody's gonna change the channel. Look this way, Trucy. Now smile for the camera. Let's see those pearly whites. Isn't that what the Grammary Creed tells you to do? How does it feel, Trucy? Everybody online can't stop talking about you. They're calling you a real witch out there. Could this be the end of the trick Grammary? Go away, you creep! What's this? Something just charged into frame. Looks like a yellow gorilla or something. Could it be Trucy's pet? Filming is prohibited inside the courthouse. Do you want me to get the bailiff? Filming? What are you talking about? I didn't even have a camera on me. What happened to the camera? Just disappeared right before our very eyes. I'll be enjoying the rest of the Trucy show from the gallery. I put out a call for Trucy's fans to come and support her earlier, by the way. Better get some great footage out of them. This is gonna be good. Hang loose, baby. Called in some of Trucy's fans, but for what purpose? Apollo. That thing Mr. Ratins just did, that was some high-level sleight of hand. Why would he know how to do something like that? I don't know, but he definitely has some serious magic skills. No way, but I thought he said magicians were all a bunch of good-for-nothings. Is the lawyer? Oh, it's you. Hello, Bonnie. Can I help you with something? Well, this is something that's been bothering me. Really? What is it? Well, you see... Hey, dummy, what are you whispering to Lobster Boy about? Betty... Who the heck do you think you are? Are you crazy? You want a piece of this? You know you have to talk to me first before you do or say anything, you harebrain. But Shut your mouth, you dumb bunny. Come with me, now. Wonder what was bothering her. There's no way we're finding that out with Betty constantly hovering over her like that. Court is about to reconvene. You be alright testifying? Yes, it's just... I wonder what Mr. Ratins has up his sleeve. I doubt he's bringing in actual fans. Yeah, probably not. I wonder if he's up to his... I wonder what he has up his sleeve, too. Better not be trying to get under Trucy's skin right now, of all times. You're Trucy right, and you'll be fine. There goes Apollo with his best trick. That's right. Whenever I'm feeling down, I always tell myself I'm fine. Alright, I'll give it a try. Tracy's right and I'm fine. Thanks, Polly. I think I can do this now. That'll go. Good luck up there on the stand. You'll do great. Thanks, I'll be fine. I can do this. Alright, Justice, you can do this too. Time to focus on the rest of the trial. April 28. District Court. Courtroom number 6. We are... Court is now back in session. Defendant, please step up to the witness stand. Tracy Wright, magician. Here comes the liar, the deceitful witch. Throw the murderer in jail, the last member of that criminal troupe. Boo, we don't want to see you on any stage. Order! The gallery will be quiet, or I will have you all thrown out on the spot. What's with all the hecklers? I bet they're the fans Mr. Ratins invited. What a grade A jerk. Well, he's not going to psych us out. Now then, Miss Wright. This court would like to know if you switched from the steel sword to a rubber one on stage. So please testify about this issue. She's gonna try and trick us again with her magic. I can convict her already. Give her the death penalty. Silence, all of you! I won't tell you again. Miss Wright, do you feel able to testify? Yes, I'm fine, Your Honor. Trucy, I knew I shouldn't have let her go through this. I'd like to make a small request. How about, instead of testifying with words... Actually, exactly what happened. Would that be alright, Your Honor? You can witness my stupendous sword-switching magic and judge for yourselves. In spite of everything, she's still smiling. Trucy's amazing, isn't she? She sure is. She's doing fine just up there. True entertainer always keeps a smile on their face. She's faithfully following the trickery creed even now. She really is something else. It's showtime for Magical Girl Trucy Wright. Watch carefully now, everybody. Oh, she's actually going to, there's actually, like, the testimony is, like, the full trick. So, similar to what happened in the third case of the second game, where it was like, oh, we had to, well, that was more so just, like, doing the actual scene and stuff. This one here, it looks like, I guess we're gonna be able to press and, present evidence to contradict the actual trick, with what she's having to do. So this will be interesting to see. Ladies and gentlemen, please focus your attention on this sword. Allow me to demonstrate just how sharp this blade truly is. See that? No tricks or gimmicks. A very sharp sword indeed. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, watch as I take this sword and... Presto Swordo! There, I've switched it. And now... Up! As you can see, the blade is not steel, but rubber. Bravo, Miss White! Wow, she switched them in a flash! Couldn't see her do it all. She's completely turned the room around. Heckers are being drowned out by all the cheering. Where did the steel sword vanish off to, Miss White? In order to deepen our understanding of the case, please tell us if you would. I'm not asking out of mere curiosity, just so you know. I usually hide the steel sword backstage when I switch them during the show. So when you thrust the rubber sword into the coffin, the steel sword wasn't even on stage, but behind the curtain? Exactly. So you see, there is a trick and a gimmick to it after. As for where the steel sword went, when I performed the trick just now, it's a secret. Wouldn't want to spoil the magic for you now, would I? That's our Trucy. Yeah, still. That's right. That part where you spin around. It's an actual part of the sword switching trick you do for the show, right? Right. The other parts, like the apple, would just help with my explanation here in court. It's funny. I think I found an inconsistency in your testimony. And it looks like I'm not the only one. Don't know what it's doing there. But now that I've found it, I have to get to the bottom of it. Now then, Mr. Justice, you may go ahead and question the witness. But try not to ask dumb questions and spoil this wondrous magic. I thought this was supposed to be my cross-examination. One second. Oh, we're getting late. Okay, yeah, just one. So we can press each.
Hold it!
Please be careful, Miss Wright. Don't worry, I've practiced this trick 1,000 times. It's alright, Apollo. You have to give Trucy some credit. She knows what she's doing. I know, but it still makes me nervous every time. That's what magic is all about. A truly great magician can make her audience experience all kinds of thrills and chills. Guess you're right. Better try not to interrupt her too much while she's doing the trick. Don't want to distract her or break her concentration. Now, ladies and gentlemen, back to the exciting world of magic.
Hold it!
That's right. Please don't spin that big dangerous thing around. Somebody could get hurt. Apollo! Please don't shout when I'm swinging said blade around. Somebody could get hurt. Yeah, sorry about that. I couldn't help myself. You should know better than to talk to me when I'm on stage. Mr. Justice, I'll see you in my chambers after court is adjourned. Uh-oh. I don't suppose somebody could make me disappear before that happens. Let's just watch quietly, shall we, Apollo? And now, back to the show.
Hold it!
So it's definitely a real sword, right? Now, Apollo. I know you're excited, but you have to control yourself. Mr. Justice, if you needlessly interrupt this wonderful magic show again, I will be forced to bring my very real gavel down on your head. Judge seems to be completely taken in by Trucy's magic. Yeah, it's like she's cast a magic spell over him. Better not interrupt her anymore. There's no telling what the judge might do to me. Miss Wright, please ignore any further outbursts from Mr. Justice. I presume with your spectacular trick. Alright, here I go then. Can I actually keep interrupting without getting penalized? He's not penalizing me. I want to see what happens.
Hold it!
We're not gonna. We shouldn't get a penalty, I don't think. Oops, I did it again. I've had it up to here, Apollo. Can't you listen quietly like a big boy? Sorry about that. You got a little too worked up. Apollo. Now, boys and girls, watch carefully and please don't kick the seat in front of you. I will now take the sword and... I was hoping the judge was gonna, like, do something, but,
Hold it!
So you switched swords when you spun around just now. It's right. It's the same way I do the trick in the actual magic show, too. But I'm also doing a lot of extra things that I don't do during the show right now, though. Key point is the sword switching. Finally, we could prove that she did it during the actual show, too. Prove that she switched them during the show. What's the matter, Apollo? You look troubled. It's nothing. It's quite the pickle. How should I go about handling this? Mr. White, please continue with your trick. So you've all just witnessed me switching the swords.
Hold it!
Watch out! What do you think you're doing, Apollo? But you are putting yourself in danger. I couldn't just stand by and not say something. Mr. Justice, you're putting your head in danger of meeting my governor. Apollo, you better apologize before you become this case's next victim. I'm very sorry, everyone. How did it come to this? Alright, boys and girls, if you want to ask for an encore, wait until the end, okay? Now then, my sword was sharp as steel just moments ago, but...
Hold it!
It's incredible. When in the world did you switch them? I explained it once already. Could you show it to me again? Sure. But remember, a magician doesn't usually share her secrets. So this is a very special exception. So I'm very grateful for your generosity, believe me. But take a good hard look at the instant she switches the swords. Even though she explains how she does it, I still can't see her do it. Blows me away no matter how many times I watch. Yeah, me too, but... What is it, Apollo? Did you notice anything about the way Trilogy, moves during the trick? You mean like her movements? I don't get it. What's the real story, Trilogy? So we want to present on... Yeah, when they said about the switching of the swords. Because, remember they even said in their clues here to do that, so... This...
Objection!
That's right, there's something I'd like to confirm with you. Because I always do say stuff about, like, a magician can perform the same trick in multiple different ways. So even if someone does figure it out, they can just do it in another way. What is it, Apollo? Seems to be a discrepancy between the way you performed the trick for us just now and the way it appears in the show footage. But that can't be. You performed it exactly the same way both times. What's going on here? It's right out of the show footage right here. And the part where you twirl your cape around is missing from it. But I did it! It really is the exact moment you switch the swords. Yes, that's right. I knew it. Well, I certainly never expected the defense to expose the accused life, I mean. Mr. Justice, does this mean that you are arguing that the defendant did not swap the swords during the actual magic show? No, Your Honor. That wasn't my intention. I mean, I did swap them. I know I did. Absolutely sure of it.
Objection!
Human memory is unreliable at best, but in this case, I am afraid that it is the witness herself who cannot be trusted. We can see the fruits for ourselves. The claims of this witness are false. But... now that it has been proven that the accused did not swap swords, it means that the use of the steel sword to pierce the coffin was wholly intentional. And by the way, was it not you, Mr. Justice, who argued that Mr. Rios' death was not an accident, but murder? I assume you have no objections to that still. It was, after all, your own assertion. The defense...
Objection!
The defense has an objection. To you, Mr. Apollo Justice. And to mention with the discrepancy you pointed out now. But there is a discrepancy, and it must mean something. I'm sure of it. Would the defense team kindly say this spot until after court is adjourned? Now, after all of this debate, it seems we've come back around to the original argument. The defendant knew about the correct plan that would place the victim inside the coffin. It's bold the defendant did not perform the sword-switching trick on stage. Through her actions, I'm afraid I have come to see the true intentions of the accused. The murderous intentions. It's such a shame. But I did switch the swords, I swear. You're knee-deep in it now, Justice. Excuse me? Let's see, you are... Which one again? Benny? No, that's not right. Bossy. It's Bonnie. You were mixing the two names together, Your Honor. Oh, pardon me. And do you have something you wish to say? Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to testify. About what? The more I think about it, the less possible it seems. I don't believe Tracy killed Mr. Rios. Hey, what's the big idea? Such an incredibly gifted and talented musician. Would never commit murder. I refuse to believe it. What are you talking about, you harebrained hare? You keep your trap shut. I got a bag of baby carrots for you, so chew on those and pipe down. No, I won't be quiet. What's the matter with you? Didn't you hear me? True, she said something to me once. She said, no matter how scared you get, no matter how mean people are to you, you can't give in or give up. That's what being a professional magician is all about. Isn't that right, Trucy? That's right, Bunny. I've always been afraid to stand up to Betty, afraid to defy her, so I did what she said. When I saw Trucy today, she gave me strength. She's gonna try and trick us again with her magic. I hope we convict her already. Give her the death penalty. I'm actually going to turn the light on real quick. See if that will help out. Alright, we're back. Kind of. Oh, I didn't really go. I kind of just turned the light on and thing. How about instead of testifying with words, I show you exactly what happened. Would that be alright, Your Honor? You can witness my stupendous sword-switching magic and judge for yourselves. Seeing her courage, the way she kept smiling despite everything, she's just incredible. So I'm not gonna run away. I'm scared, but for once, I'm gonna be brave. What have you done to my sister, Trucy, right? You practically brainwashed her. It's the power of Trucy's conviction. That's what it is. It's touched Bunny's heart. Yeah, Trucy really is one magical girl. Bunny, is the topic of your testimony related to that thing that was bothering you? The thing you've tried to tell us about in the lobby during the recess. Yes, ever since I saw the show footage, something's been nagging at me. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but something is off. I feel like something about it is different from what I saw on the stage. What What do you mean by that, Bonnie? Wonder if what was shown on TV is really the same as what happened on stage.
Objection.
Of course it is. The show has been only performed once, after all. It can't show anything other than what happened on that stage yesterday.
Objection.
Bonnie's testimony deserves our attention. We have to examine the show footage. What can we check it against? Do you have some other footage of the show? Well, I have some show footage. You do? One of the TV station's cameramen said he was a fan of mine. He kept his camera on me throughout the entire show. But then afterwards, I gave him the footage shot as a present. He did? To tell you the truth, I thought it was kind of creepy, so I was going to get rid of it.
Hold it.
Please submit that footage to the court. Let's see. Can we spot anything different? We'll have to examine it, I think. Now then, let's take a look at this new footage. See if we notice anything different. Okay. Oh, it's a different angle. Okay, so, I don't remember cards being thrown. I don't remember cards being thrown on the other footage. At first I thought noticed something, but... Okay then. You really did keep his camera on Bonnie the whole time, didn't you? This cameraman needs to keep his personal feelings out of his work. Well, defense, do you still believe this new show footage is worth inspecting? Of course I do. Okay, so how are we going to go about this? Try comparing the two. You just might find an inconsistency between them. Inconsistency, huh? There's the two bits of footage of the same scene, so they should match up. Bonnie felt there was something off about the original footage. So if we can pick out what's different between the two, we'll know what Bonnie found strange. Exactly. Plus, we may figure out why the original doesn't show the swords between Patrick. Your Honor, the defense would like to compare these two pieces of show footage. Well, I will allow it. What a waste of time. Paula, do you know how to compare the two pieces of footage? No, I've never done it before. I'll give you a little lesson then. Use the video player's buttons to go through the footage. When you want to speed through, use the fast forward button. And if you want to go back, use the rewind button. If you want to halt the playback, just press the pause button. X. So circle for fast forward, square for the rewind, X for the pause. Oh, and by the way, if you fast forward or rewind with the playback is paused, you can do a slow frame by frame playback. Okay, so how do I switch between the two videos? Just use the switch camera button with L1. Now, if you find a difference between the two pieces of footage, put the cursor over what's different and present it with triangle to the court. Thanks, Sabrina. You really know your stuff. Not really, I just gave it some gusto and went with my gut on most of it. Sure hope you guessed right. Anyway, let's give it a try. Okay, so I'm gonna... I guess I can fast forward through this. At least until we get to the card point. We don't see any cards on this, I think that's what it is. We don't see any, on this view, from this view, we see we see some cards flying, but I don't think we see cards flying on, let's find where it is. Oh, I went too far. That's a little bit early. Do that out. Okay. Rewind. Let's just try pausing it. I don't remember seeing these. That was the only thing that I noticed. This is it right here. Take a good look at this scene compared to the video shot from the front. The playing cards don't appear in the video shot from the front. Hey, you're right. What's going on here? That's right. What can you tell us about these playing cards? Oh, those? They're the cards I throw when I do the sword switching trick. Mr. Justice, does this mean? Yeah, but we didn't see her throw any cards in the courtroom either. Yes, it means that the sword switching trick was cut from the TV show footage. So the footage was edited. Yes, with malicious intent. That is absurd. Well, we must get to the bottom of this right now, right away. Well, the TV station might still have the unedited footage. Go see what you can find out. Yes, Your Honor. Wait a second. That's this is Roger, isn't it? Yeah, it is him. Why are you stopping? It's you. Now hold up, Your Honor. This is all just a big misunderstanding, believe you me. Give a guy a chance to defend himself before you start pointing out fingers. And who might you be? Right. Sorry about that. Got ahead of myself there. Here's my business card. Charmed to make your acquaintance, Your Honor. Well, how very polite of you. It is lovely to meet you, Prosecutor Marty. Please take my card. Business card. Ah, yes. I read about these custom among businessmen in this country. I've even familiarized myself with the various replies. How do you do, good sir? What's crackin' a lackin', homie, for example? You're from Take-Two TV, are you witness? Come to think of it, I believe I've seen you on television before. Yes, Roger attends, otherwise known as the Ratings Raja. He's a TV producer and appears on many of his own shows as of late. He's best known for his catchphrase, "Hang loose, baby." Oh my, so you're the Ratings Raja? Hang loose, judgy baby. Nice courtroom you got here. I never thought I'd get to meet you in person. The prosecutor said, Marty, how do you know so much about him? In preparation for the case, I watched all of his shows. I found the Ratings Raja goes to Burger Barn of particular interest. It inspired me to visit that restaurant straight away to learn more about the local cuisine. What? You went to Burger Barn? Who would have thought? You must have really wanted to try it, huh, buddy? It's that line. Woo! Compared to my aesthetic training, an hour's wait is nothing. I recommend the Southwestern Burger with jalapeno jack cheese, by the way. I'm having a really hard time picturing him in line for burgers. Once again, some Marty's unexpected enthusiasm for food aside. Mr. Returns, what is this misunderstanding you mentioned? Well, for starters, it's true that the footage was edited. You'd get your hands on this anyway, so I might as well show you the unedited footage. It's a pretty long video, so I'll just show you the part with the playing cards. You can see the cards which she spins around to keep your eyes peeled. And now I just saw it. I just saw the cards. Did you see the bar that was cut where Trucy switched the swords? She spins around and the playing cards go flying. Just like it's supposed to be. But it seems the defendant really did swap swords during the trick. Which means the sword Miss Wright thrust into the coffin was the rubber one. In other words, Miss Wright couldn't have killed Mr. Reeves. Yeah, see, that's the first misunderstanding right there. What do you mean? Oh, Trucy did definitely swap swords, as you saw. So yeah, maybe she didn't kill Mr. Reeves when she stabbed the coffin. That just means he was killed after he showed up pretending to be a corpse. So you're saying that up until that point, everything was going according to the script? If that's true, then when and how exactly do you think he was killed? So after the dragon set piece came crashing down. Say Trucy murdered Mr. Rios when she was hidden from view behind the set piece. She could have easily done it behind that huge dragon and nobody'd be the wiser. I see. Indeed, there is a ring of truth to your assertion. You bet. Plus, there's a suspicious-looking shadow in the footage, too. It's toward the end of the footage, just before the dragon hits the stage. Might be easy to just see it for yourselves. Oh, this is more animated, see if we can spot anything. I know that there's the shadow that you can spot. It's only for a split second, so it's hard to catch, but look here. This suspicious shadow must be Trucy. She's using the steel sword she hid behind the curtain during the trick to kill the victim. I think this is Mr. Hat. Because, we see this shadow twice, though, which is the weird part. Now that you mention it, I suppose it does look that way.
Objection!
This witness is just trying to ram his theory down our throats, Your Honor. And that's not all. Aren't we forgetting that the witness willfully edited the sword switch out of the footage? You see, there's your second misunderstanding right there. Your Honor, would you mind if I testified about it? I've seen people testify on TV and I've always wanted to give it a shot. That would be fine with me. Prosecutor Sanbari? This is quite unexpected. It threatens to disrupt the karmic course of this case. Hey, lighten up, pretty boy. You're gonna like what I've got to say, promise. Very well, however, if you do anything to impede the last rites of for the victim, I will have you removed. Alright, with Prosecutor Samadi's permission, please give us your testimony, Mr. Returns. Roger Returns, the ratings Raja, now Kaiser of the courtroom. I'm taking over the floor, so listen up, love viewers. Wasn't deliberate, I tell you. Footage is meant to be edited, I tell you. Scenes are spliced together, and long or boring scenes are cut out. All the stations edit footage this way. It wasn't like it was done maliciously or something. It's just a coincidence a particular scene was cut. It wasn't intentional. Or what? You got some proof that I had an ulterior motive editing that footage? I mean, we might. I see. So you're saying it was a coincidence that the sword-swapping scene was cut? That's right. Glad you got the picture.
Objection!
Coincidence? That's just a little too convenient if you ask me. An objection? How cool. Sure packs a lot more punch when you hear it live. Do that again. I want to get another shot from a different angle. My objection is not for your entertainment. And cut. There, I got some good stuff there. Mr. Returns, filming is prohibited inside the courthouse. Whoops, my bad, Judge. And if the defense has an issue, it can point it out during its cross-examination. Really? I've never heard anybody say that. It's common knowledge in the TV world. Got any idea what a snooze cruise it'd be to watch a magic show without editing? A magic show like that one, anyway. That was ice cold. Anyway, editing is what makes TV worth watching.
Hold it!
You saying you thought there were boring scenes in Miss Wright's magic show? Gotta ask, that script and presentation deserve a place on the cutting room floor. Broadcasting that mess as is would have been a complete disaster. That's why I had to edit the footage, which is what a TV man does. What didn't you like about the show exactly? The whole thing was a major snooze fest. Maybe common folk like you don't get it. But the show's only as good as how loud, flashy, and trashy it is. There's plenty loud and flashy on its own. All you did was add the trash. I suppose each industry has its own way of doing things. Just as we in the legal profession focus exclusively on evidence and testimony. Exactly, whether it's showbiz or the legal biz, we do what we gotta do to get the job done. Anyway, editing footage is just a matter of the course in the TV industry.
Hold it!
Wasn't done maliciously, huh? But I get the distinct impression that you bear feelings of ill will towards trickery. What makes you think that? Things that you yourself have said. You'll see, I'll dig up the dirt and expose the dark heart behind that sweet smile. I'll prove those grammary magicians are all a bunch of lowlives. I also get the impression that you felt this way for a long time.
Objection!
Words such as those can be interpreted in many different ways. For example, though, I bear the defense no ill will. I would not hesitate to say that he is a good-for-nothing lout of a lawyer. Bear no ill will. Could have fooled me. And yet it is the truth. I am only strict on you as it seems you have strayed from the path. If you have any objections, Mr. Justice, please make your case with evidence in the future. Mr. Martins, please continue your testimony.
Hold it!
What are the scenes you covered in the footage? No others, I guess. I mean, you only edited out the sword-switching trick scene and nothing else? Do you think it's too much of a stretch to claim that as mere evidence? No matter how artificial you find the affair, stranger things have happened on their own. That is, unless you have something with which to prove otherwise defense. Well, if you have a valid criticism of Red Return's testimony, feel free to counter with evidence. Well, Apollo, it would sure make things easier if we had some. I think the defense team needs to be edited out of this trial. That's what they need. I'll have to clean up this footage later. He isn't really gonna put this on TV, is he? Trying to prove malicious intent is tough. All he has to do is say it was all a coincidence. We need to find some kind of foothold if we want to make any progress. True, but this guy doesn't seem like the type to slip up. So we'll just have to get the information out of him bit by bit.
Hold it!
Of all the scenes you could have cut, why the sword switching trick? Seems like too much of a coincidence to me. Oh, so now you're gonna tell me how I'm supposed to edit my program's big shot? It's hard being the boss, kid. You gotta make the tough choices. Like which content gets cut. Let me ask you this. Why exactly did you make such a tough choice in this case? Well, that's sad, chap. It's all about artistic vision. I tell you, people tell you how to do your job when they don't know the first thing about it. I may not know TV, but I know evidence law. Boy, do I have something for you, champ. I might not be able to show you that your selective editing was intentional. However, I know you bear the defendant ill will, and this is the evidence that proves it. We do have the clipboard, which, again, the contract thing.
Take that!
What's that got there? This is the contract you had Mr. Wright sign up just before the magic show. It's a contract between the first party, Take-Two Studio, and the second party, Miss Wright reads. If, through the fault of the second party, the show must be cancelled in part or in full, the second party will pay $3 million as compensation to the first party. $3 million? That's a completely unreasonable sum. Couldn't agree more, and of course Miss Wright doesn't have that kind of money. Nevertheless, Roger Retent has had her sign this unreasonable contract anyway. Or more accurately, he conned her into signing it. Conned her? How did he do that? It's a trick to the clipboard that was used by Miss Wright to sign a contract. It houses carbon paper that can secretly copy her signature onto other documents. Well, come on now, that's just a nasty accusation to sling in my way. For starters, you don't have any proof that I had anything to do with that carbon paper stuff. Just because Trucy and her agency can't pay up doesn't mean I conned her. But $3 million? That's totally out of reach for the average person. In any case, this is important new information. Please add it to your testimony, Mr. Returns. Okay, so you can probably press that particular statement. Where's your proof linked to me to that tricked out clipboard? You don't have any, do you?
Hold it!
This clipboard is yours, though, isn't it, Mr. Returns? Well, it belongs to the TV station anyway, that much I know. Maybe it was an old prop from one of our TV shows that got used by mistake. Or maybe you used it on purpose. To con Miss Wright.
Objection!
Mr. Returns has already stated that he did not. Mr. Justice, please do not use this trial to get out of paying your agency's debt. It's not what I'm doing. Where's Mr. Returns attended to the carbon paper, huh? If Trucy's signature was copied onto the fake contract, then there must be an original contract that Trucy actually did sign. True, but I bet Returns is too savage to leave something like that behind as evidence. What if his signature was copied onto more than just the fake contract? Like a third document with Trucy's signature on it. Have we seen anything like that, though? Hey, what are you guys whispering about? Let me continue my testimony. So we do have something that we can present here. The statement, I believe, had a signature on it. We also have Trucy's. We also have Trucy's note as well.
Objection!
Isn't the minister's statement inconsistent with this piece of evidence? No, it is not. No, it is not. Let it go and move on. Wait, is that the wrong statement? I'll let it go and move. Oh, okay, so that was the wrong statement. But before you take this pen. Okay, that was the wrong. I thought I could submit that statement because technically she did do a signature of her own on there. So it must be the other statement then. It'll be this other statement that's here. It'll be this one.
Objection!
I thought it was the statement. Because that's like an official document that she actually signed, that you could say was her thing. Must be quite the con man if you can fool a magician with a simple trick. But if you think you can con a lawyer, you're very much mistaken. Hey kid, would it kill you to initiate in front of the camera? You know, like a newscaster? I'd like you to take a look at Miss Wright's signature here on this note. Now let's compare that signature to the one here in this contract. Oh, would you look at that? They're exactly the same. Yeah, the chances of a signature being exactly the same would be very hard. That's right, Your Honor. Not just similar, but exactly the same. Nobody can sign their name in exactly the same way twice, unless it's a copy. These signatures are proof positive that you can't miswrite. And they definitely prove your malicious intent. Say, not bad, lawyer guy. Didn't know you had it in you. This is really getting interesting now. It'll get great ratings for sure. Don't try to dodge the issue, Mr. Attins. The fact is that you bear ill will against my client. So the show footage was definitely edited with malicious intentions. Isn't that right?
Objection.
What a forced argument defense. All you have really proven is that his ill will towards Mr. Wright, but his pecuniary greed. That's right, I just wanted more money, baby. Fat stacks of cheddar, that's all. After all, I never even crossed paths with Truce before this magic show. So I have absolutely no reason to bear her any ill will, right? Didn't bear her any ill will, huh? Fat chance. This guy's definitely has some major hate for Trucy. You'll see. I'll dig up the dirt and expose the dark heart behind that sweet smile. I'll prove those grammary magicians are all a bunch of lowlifes. Can't prove it with anything, but the things you said all point to that fact. There must be something between the two of them that gave birth to this grudge. Some sort of connection that not even Trucy is aware of. Your Honor, I'd like to argue that Roger Attins and Trucy Wright must have crossed paths before. There must have been some hidden connection between them. Hidden? Connection? What is it now? Just what are you getting at, Mr. Justice? It's futile to even ask, Your Honor. Surely it is just another one of the defense's feckless claims.
Objection!
You don't seem to have a very high opinion of me. Once you hear my argument, you'll wish you'd taken me as a whole level seriously. Will I really? Very well then. To proceed. Did you figure something out, Apollo? Nope, not a thing. It was just some good old-fashioned bluffing, courtesy of Mr. Wright's fine training. Hope you know what you're doing. If you're going to make such a bold claim, Mr. Justice, I hope you're ready to elaborate. What is this hidden connection between the defendant and Roger Attins? He's Trucy's biggest fan. No. They're dating? Absolutely not. Does that mean that he's a magician? I mean, technically, he's kind of like a magician, but if you're talking about, like, lying and stuff, he kind of is a I mean, he's not Trucy's fan, he's also not dating her, so, I mean, he has to be a magician, right? That sleight of hand trick Mr. Attins did during the recess earlier. Oh, right, yeah. Filming is prohibited inside the courthouse. Do you want me to get the bailiff? Filming? What are you talking about? I don't even have a camera on me. What if Mr. Attins is a magician too? What if? I believe it's up to the defense to fill in the blanks, not me. Well, if he is, he may have had some contact with Miss Wright somewhere along the way.
Objection.
Your argument is hardly worth responding to. By all means, please do continue. As a passage in the sacred scriptures of Curianism states, he who gives a sermon to a monkey is himself a monkey. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you say to a dimwit, he isn't gonna get it anyway. You saw Mr. Attins perform a magic trick. He made his video camera disappear in the blink of an eye. Well, I think it would be pretty funny if I were a magician. You must have been seeing things. Want me to try to introduce you to a good eye doctor? The connection is tenuous as that is all it takes. Then every magician in the country could potentially bear ill will towards the accused. I guess you're right. You're not the sharpest knife in the drawer, are you, short stuff? You would do well to cleanse that putrid mind of yours in the holy waters of Mount Pony. 3 days under a frigid waterfall, and even you should rise to the level of a monkey. Numbskull for a numbskull. Oh, this numbskull has thick skin, so there. I think I get what they're driving at. Even if he is a magician. It's not exactly a reason to bear a grudge against Trilogy, is it? Hold on, I can think of one person. One magician who has a reason to bear a grudge against Trilogy. Or rather, one magician who has a reason to bear a grudge against trickery. No way! Is something wrong, Mr. Justice? Your Honor, the defense wishes to submit evidence at this time. I see, and what sort of evidence do you have for us? Evidence that points to the real killer, the one who had a motive to commit this crime. What? What have you come up with this time, defense? Trilogy right as the sole edge to trickery in its name. This puts us square in the crosshairs of one particular magician. And this piece of evidence points to the one person who helped with a grudge against Miss Wright. That would be this here. Take
that!
I'm talking exactly your naming, Mr. Justice. 13 years ago, the great Mr. Rios belonged to trickery. But then the trick ousted him, and Mr. Rios vowed to get revenge on them someday. What better way to accomplish that than through the ruination of their solaire? But Mr. Rios is the victim, Mr. Justice. You've named a dead man as your suspect. But is he really dead? What do you mean, is he really dead? The fact that Mr. Rios is the victim is what's throwing you off. Then how about we consider this possibility? What if the man who died on that stage yesterday wasn't Mr. Rios? You mean the victim was an imposter? Not Mr. Rios? Then what about the real Mr. Rios? It would mean the real Mr. Rios is still alive. That's absurd. Mr. Justice, who is the real Mr. Rios, if not the victim of this case? So we're coming together now. Finally see the gimmick. The trick to this entire case. This should explain everything, Your Honor. The real killer, the one who hated trickery and wanted to sully its name. The magician lurking in the shadows, who set up a fake Mr. Rios in his stead. The real Mr. Rios is, at this point, the only person I'm thinking has to be, you. Now that I'm looking at the hair kind of does look similar. And now I'm looking at everything else, it's like I can definitely see them both being the same. Yeah.
Take that!
But that's... Yes, it is. Roger Rettins is the real Mr. Rios. Plus, I had the feeling that it was him just because of the contract. Once the contract stuff happened, was that's a new one. It's a new lawyer no jutsu. Oh, whole red pepper, your impotent seeds sprout naught but meaningless, empty words. You can't possibly have proof to support such an outlandish theory. It's not a bad idea for a soap opera. Not even die-hard fans of the genre would stick around past the pilot. You want proof? Well, I've got proof. I can prove it by... proving that the Mr. Rios in yesterday's magic show was a fake. And to do that... I just need to look at this spot on his poster. So obviously, we know, when we saw that, can I bring up this picture? I don't think I can bring up a picture. The picture that was underground, the guy did not have a scar, but yet you look at the scar on the thing, he doesn't have the scar then.
Take that!
This is the injury Mr. Rios sustained while practicing a magic trick 13 years ago. However, the video the victim shot of himself shows no trace of that injury. Well, Mario, you're absolutely right. Now, Mr. Rettins, what do you suppose we'd find if we took a look at your right forearm? Is there by chance a nasty 13-year-old scar on that sleeve of yours? Well, Mr. Rettins, why don't you roll up your sleeve and let the court have a look? Or are you hiding something up there? Come on now, I've nothing up my sleeve. Don't need to hide anything up there, because I require no tricks or gimmicks. For you see, my magic is the real deal. There it is. Is this what you were hoping to see? There it is, the scar! Just as I thought. That's right, I am the forgotten magician, abandoned to the dark understage of history. The great Mr. Rios. This is totally absurd. How ironic, wouldn't you say? This odious mark carved into me by trickery, bring me back into the limelight once more. Strange are the comic threads before me. If the witness is the real Mr. Rios, then who is the victim who perished in the magic show? He was but a fan. Made him on one of my programs several years ago. He said he had become a magician out of admiration for the great Mr. Rios. In confidence of telling my true identity, let him take on mantle. And what did this man take over for him? About 2 years ago, telling my tricks and even acted as his producer. So a mere amateur became a popular magician overnight. Courtesy of my magic on the stage we call television. If you enjoyed the show, it really had us all fooled. Mr. Rettins, or should I say, Mr. Rios, in your hatred of trickery, you killed the victim, Mr. Mystery. And then set up Miss Right to take the fall, didn't you? You did it all just to tarnish the Gramarye name. I have no idea what you're talking about, lad. Set up the prank, that much is true. It was simply a harmless joke on Trucy, I assure you. Yet she learned of the plan and made use of it to commit murder. That is how strong the criminal element runs in the blood of these Gramaryes.
Objection!
But if it was a secret prank plan that very few people knew about, couldn't you have been the ones to use it for murder instead? Wait, what? His head! Just kidding. heck was that? Keep my words, lad, for I feel your grasp on reality slipping. Do you believe I told you that my magic is real? It employs neither tricks nor gimmicks. Enough with the ambiguity. Why don't you make your point already? My alibi's seen as ever. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Sodmarty? Yes, I suppose that is correct. The witness does have a solo alibi. Recall defense at the time of the magic show. Mr. Pretends was at Take-Two TV. A fact that many people can easily attest to. That's right, I forgot all about that. So what do you think, Your Honor? Like me to testify on the matter? Yes, I think you'd better. Please tell the court more about your alibi. Very well then, on with the show. Are you watching Magnifique Gramarye? Time has finally come for my magic to snuff out your precious pedigree. The Gramarye line wouldn't be no more. Okay, my perfect alibi. I was at the TV station at the time of the Penrose performance. I was busy working on another TV program. Spare no time for the magic show. Do ask my staff if you doubt my claim. And there it is. Simple, perfect alibi. No tricks, no gimmicks. Just the truth. Do you understand now, perhaps? Did not grace the theater with my presence until after the incident. So how could I have committed the murder? Hang on one second. I think we're getting down to the end of this case. I'm not sure how much further we have. Yeah. I'm assuming that this is a... Would it be a part 2 case? I don't know. Because the thing is, like, this feels like it's a part 2 case, but at the same time, we're getting all this stuff with him now, so it's like, I guess we're gonna get down to it at some point. I'm not actually sure. Either way, I think it's a good point for me to stop streaming for now. Make sure I save this first. This is the weird thing. It says trial day 1. It says trial day 1 on it. So it says investigation day 1. So investigation day 1 is what I think took us like all that time. The trial day 1, we've been in the trial for like 3.5 hours, basically. The fact that it says trial day 1, I'm thinking that there might be a second trial, but it's so weird though, because it feels like we're getting close to the end, so I don't really know what's going on. I guess we'll just think from here. So, again, no really new, like, musical, graphical elements. No new gameplay stuff either, because, we're back in, the US, so, or Japanifornia, I guess you would say. We are... what are we doing? We are... probably going to get down to this. We've only just uncovered the reveal now that Roger Vertens is actually the magician guy, so now it makes a lot more sense about the whole stuff with the contract and stuff, about them signing all that away because of the trick and all that, and the stuff with the poster and stuff. And also the Bonnie and thing trick as well, and a few other things with the thing. So we still don't know how everything's been done yet, but we're probably going to get, because he's a magician, that's going to make things a lot more interesting to see how that all works out. But I had a feeling that it was going to be him in the first place, not the whole, oh, Retens is this character. I thought that Retens was going to be, like, the culprit anyway, because of, I thought he was going to be the culprit anyway, because of, I figured he was going to be the culprit anyway because of the contract stuff and everything that was going on, and he seemed to be setting up as the culprit as well. So we still didn't know how the swords have been swapped yet, and how the magic has worked and stuff, so we'll just have to see how we go from there. But we know how the forgery and stuff's working, and also we know that now the Ruis that was in the thing was not him, so that's also a thing. And then character-wise, I mean, we got to see that Bonnie and Betty are both twins. One's the more dominant twin of the other one, and the other one's hiding evidence, and there's a lot of characters here that pretend to be other ones. And also we got our new prosecutor, which, he's a lawyer no jutsu, basically, and he throws rosary beads at us and does prayers, and talks about hell and punishments and all that sort of stuff. So let's just, that's pretty much where we're at that point. So I'm not really sure what else there is to say. Like, this case is good. I'm enjoying it. It feels a little long, which is weird, because I really like the investigation, and I really like the settings and stuff. This one here, I'm not sure why this feels like it's lasted so long. Like this, we did do some investigation stuff, so maybe that's why. But this has lasted like 3.5 hours, this thing, so, but yeah, it is pretty much what it is, and, yeah, that's pretty much how it is, I guess I would say. I don't know, I'm blanking at the moment. Basically, character-wise, it's really good. Story-wise, I think it's really good. For some reason, this feels like it's dragging a bit. Maybe it's because we've done the whole trial. But I'm interested to see how this works, because again, these are magicians, so it's like they're gonna want each other with tricks and stuff, so we'll just have to see how it goes and hope see how that happens. But yeah, I think this is a good point for me to stop streaming for today. So we'll continue this in the next stream, probably tomorrow, depending on what happens. We'll just have a look. So yeah, with all that being said, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Every like, comment, and subscription for this video gives me a motivation. Have some more content for you. Let's go over the systems to find up in my passport. So let's play some Plat 2 the YouTube channel. Can't post up any links at the moment on YouTube, so I'm gonna wait till the 1st of October to see if that gets resolved before I can do that. And I also have a games list for all the games that played on stream so far, as well as all the upcoming games, games that we have DLCs for, all that sort of stuff as well. As well as speedrun stuff and everything else. All in an organised place, so everyone to find if they've missed any of my parts. Working on more Platinum Parcels games we have the Platinum Trophy for, as well as switching things up from games on the Switch, along more Ultra Go experience Pokemon Nuzlocke. Trying to experience, I want to keep doing those. The Live notes are all done, I just need to find time to do them. The Persona 5 Tactica notes, I'm halfway through that. The individual level speedruns for Octopath Traveler are also complete. I've started working on those, but I need to do that too. And then also the challenge runs for Pacifist and pacifist and genocide Edo Japan runs for Live Alive and a couple other things I'm going to do for that as well. I upload everything to my YouTube channel because I have a certain limitation on my videos. Before they're permanently deleted, I want the video a separate place for everyone to find my content, if you should do so. And you'll also get a notification when I go live on YouTube or on Twitch. 220 followers. I'll be doing a Pokemon Let's Go EV speedrun, and we also reach affiliate, which brings a monthly legend as well. Get to make a bunch of subscriber emails and send stuff in time going forward to the future. Also get an extra 7 days upload from my videos permanently as well, and you'll get a notification when I go live on Twitch. I follow me on Twitter to be notified when I go live. I'm on Discord. I will send you an invite to my friends' Discord server, close to 2,000 members through Growing Shop. Playing Docs and Gamers to discuss how as well. I'm very active there, and just get a notification when I go live as well. And finally, you should know who my stream overlay that I use from all my future content going forward. You can find a link down below in the description for that as well. So as always, I will send you, before we head off, we'll do a raid. I do take on any raid requests if anyone has any, otherwise I will just send someone over to someone I'm potentially following, or someone that might be playing this, or something else that I'm interested in, so let's see. Send everyone over to Nezihu. They're doing some Valorant at the moment. So I will do that. So thank you all for watching. And all that being said, have a good day night, wherever you all are. And I will see you all later.